happens. Let's see what happens, boy. Yeah, bro. I don't hear no audio, bro. I don't hear no audio. Yo. Cleaning my can. If anybody wonder what I'm doing, I'm cleaning my can, man. Cleaning my can, man. Alright. Let me see. Let me see how this looks. I got my phone with me. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to pay for that ring thing, man. I'm gonna have to pay for that service. Gonna have to pay for that service, man. What happened there? What's that? What happened there? What's that box? What did I do there? Oh. Okay, what did I do here now? What did I do here, bro? Let me do F11. I don't know if I should do F11, but let me try. Let me see if that makes a difference. Oh, that makes a difference. Okay. Yeah, I want the address bar. I don't want the, oh, it's this stupid chat window fucking thing. No, close that. Um, oh, yeah, you know why I need to chat on my phone? Because this thing is not gonna. Where's my phone at, bro? It's right here. But it's right here. But let me see. Try to go to my live chat. Let me see how it looks. Yo, bro.
Your modem confirms EDX is active, so the network accepted your settings. How much power is this actually going to save? The 8
Why it glitches like that? I hate when it does that. Why does it do that? All right, so yeah, so okay, so I am live. So bro, so I'm right. Yo. Okay, and it popped up right there. Okay, all right. Yo. Ah, there we go. Yo. Yo. Oh, sorry, I hit my camera. I got on a tripod. Got a tripod right there. Anyway, I'm testing out this ring cam thing. So anyway, so I access my ring cam through. Okay, let me mute this. So I'm gonna get feedback. There you go. All right. So this is my front door. So this ring cam, what I'm doing is I want to see if I can do a live stream with a ring cam. Of course, I'm just trying this one out, but eventually I may get another ring cam because I bought a bird feeder. It's right here. It's right there in the box. I haven't done an unboxing on it yet. But that bird feeder, a lot of these bird feeders, I looked it up. The ones that you buy with the bird feeder camera, the camera with the bird feeder, a lot of them are tricky to set up as a web stream, as a live cam, excuse me, as a webcam for live streaming. Because I'll give you an example. This one right here. I have this one. You see this one, right? This is a nice camera. It's not an outdoor camera, but it's a PTZ camera. This one can point, pan, tilt, and zoom. So this one you can control it to zoom in and all that, and you know. But this one, um, is an IP camera too, by the way. But this one has a proprietary app that's on the phone. So this one, if I could have streamed with this one, I would have done it. If I was a bird cam, right? So because I also want to do security cameras. I want to stream a security camera once in a while. Because funny thing was happening tonight is that let me put the sound up. I don't hear the. Oh yeah, there is sound. You can hear the sound. I think they're done for tonight. I went to the store earlier, and I swear to God, this is gonna sound nasty. So brace yourself, people. Um, and I know it was one of the Mexicans. One of those. There's one drinking in one vehicle. Let me see if I can do the mouse pointer. I'm not gonna be able to see it like this. Yeah, I will have to do it on the. Anyway, across the street, there's a SUV park. You can't see it off the view, but right across the street right across the street from our house, there's a box on the floor. There's a box near the driveway, and it has human feces. Yeah, you heard it right. It has human poop. It's in a cardboard box. So that means one of these guys is drinking, and I guess they didn't go to their place of residence across the street or whatever, or next door, whatever the hell, wherever the hell who they visiting. They decided to drop trousers right there and take a dump. So I'm just here watching and see if anybody moves that box, and they try to put it on my side because I'm gonna go out there and confront them. Unfortunately, the ring right now, that vehicle right there is blocking the view. That black vehicle right in front of my house is blocking the view of where the box is at right now. I know it's nasty what I just said. But by the way, I don't have the ring membership. I would have had the ring membership. I could have found out exactly who it was, because then I could have done the history. Right now, I can't access the history because unfortunately, Ring wants you to pay like $4 a month to access the history. So But I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a live stream. What the hell, you know? Content is content, bro. I'm gonna do a live stream, and if somebody comes out and they start walking toward that area, I'm gonna run outside and confront them. Well, I'm not gonna get near that nastiness, but I want to see who it is. I'm gonna open that door, and you're gonna see me out there, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what you doing, bro? You know, like, is that your makeshift toilet that you put across the street? Cause my neighbor, when he wakes up tomorrow, he's gonna see that box. Now that's why I'm making this video too, because if that box winds up on my side sometime overnight, I'm gonna blame him for it, and I confront him too about it for letting this happen. But I don't think he knows. Obviously, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that there's a cardboard box. Okay, see, this is the other thing. It times out. So let me switch over to my browser. Let me just click on reconnect. And that's it. And then I can switch back. There we go. All right. So we good for another. I think it's like every 10 minutes. I think Ring is only every 10 minutes you have to click on the reconnect button. That's the only thing about this Ring thing also. Even on the phone is like that. If you want to watch live view, like what I'm doing now, I think there's a time limit. I don't know if I could adjust that. I'll look into that, and if I'll do Google search on there, see if I can extend the live view in minutes. Because I can't do this unattended live stream with this, because like I said, you just saw, I'll get a notice saying, would you like to reconnect? So there is a timeout feature. Because of course this takes bandwidth. This is because remember, this is getting recorded. That goes to Ring, and then I'm accessing Ring for this live stream. That's what for the camera. Now again, like I said, the person that put that box there, I'm not gonna be able to know who it is unless I pay for Ring. For the the history, they call it the history, to retrieve my history. Then I can find out who exactly put that box there. My other security cameras right now, they're down. They're no longer working because the DVR hard drive went dead. So eventually, I'm in the process of I'm gonna replace my home security system in the front. Now I do have 4 Ring cameras in the house. I mean, not Ring, Blink. That's another company that makes these cameras. It's called Blink. I have 4 of them inside the house. Like one is in the kitchen. I have like one in the living room, like bedroom, upstairs, and things like that. So I have those cameras. So just as security inside the house, we have cameras. We have those Blink cameras, and we also have the Amazon Echo Show, and those have motion also. So if anybody wants to come in the house when we're not home, those things they'll send us an alert right away. Nah, somebody is in your house. So we're still secure, even though we don't have the cameras outside working. I mean, I leave them out there anyway because they're mounted. Those are the old cameras with the BNC connectors. Those are they're pretty old anyway. They're over the year after I moved here. So they've been up there for almost 13 years now. So those cameras are already, they still work, but the DVR went dead in terms of the hard drive. But what happened with the DVR also, in the process of removing the hard drive, it had the battery, the clock battery in the motherboard, the housing that holds the clock battery. I guess the solder just broke off, and if the connector fell off, so the whole battery is out. So I could solder in a new CMOS battery, but I don't want to go through the hassle. So that DVR, I'm not gonna try to refix. I maybe in the future I'll try to fix it when but it's not worth. I really wanna. Plus that's wired. Those are wired cameras. I really want to go to a wireless camera system. So that's why I'm not breaking my head over fixing the DVR. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject here. So I'm trying this out because I want to see, because you know, if this works, then the next step is when I install the bird cam. I'm gonna try to set up the bird cam directly to live stream, if I can do it. If not, then the only way I can live stream is if I go through a browser. Right now, this is a browser that's playing my Zoom. I'm my Ring cam. So I'm logged into Ring, and then in Ring, I'm able to access this feed to show you guys. So I'm kind of, I'm testing this out. Okay, right now nothing's going on outside in front of my house. I guess I don't hear no more music. I guess they stopped drinking and they went inside, or they plastered. They probably sleeping in the car. Who knows what else is going on? Anyway, I'm drinking, but cheers. I'm having a cold one tonight. But yeah, anyway, sorry I haven't been on lately. I've just been very busy. I've been really working on my yard. I'm getting ready to plant. I still haven't planted anything down yet because the weather has been crazy. The weather's still been cooler. Although today, no, not today. Today was 64, but yesterday went up to like 74 degrees. But, yeah. So right now, I'm watching Lockup up here. NBC, you know. I watch Lockup sometimes, like inmates, you know, interview inmates and all that. Because I got the volume down because I don't want to get into copyright. So I would just watch it. I just have it there when I was working. So I said, you know what, let me live stream for a little bit here and test this out. And then I'll do the playback, and I want to see how the quality is here. Because this is like I'm testing now, because the next step is when I install the bird cam. Now for that, I'm going to do an unboxing first. I got the box right there. So I'm literally on the floor right over there. Literally on the floor. Actually, let me just bring the box so you can see the box. And you can see right here. It's a bird cam right here. Box right here. Okay, so this is the bird cam. Is in here. So I received it yesterday. It arrived yesterday, so but I'm gonna do an unboxing on there video for my product review channel. And when I unbox it, of course it's unboxing, I'll take it out. And because I also ordered a pole for it. The poles that are out there are pretty old and they're short. The pole that I ordered for this one is 109 inches tall. So it's a pretty tall pole, and that one has a mount for a birdhouse. So that's the pole. It's gonna be on that pole. So that's gonna arrive tomorrow. So once that pole arrives, then I'm gonna do the whole I'll try to do a whole install video. Like, you know, put the bird cam together first, and then I'll make another. No, actually, I'll maybe I'll do both one video. Because the pole is pretty straightforward. It's just a pole. It's, you know, one of those. You know, it's like it's just for gardening. It's for gardening. For backyard. Oh, I hear somebody. I hear somebody. Because right now, you know, it's Friday night. They're out there. They're in their vehicle. They're playing that Mexican music. They're drinking. But that thing is nasty. Whoever did that. They left a poop. By the way, it's not the first time that happened. Years ago on my security cam, there was another guy that was drunk, and I guess he was drinking. I don't know. He was drinking down the next house or whatever. He went to the back of the vehicle on my driveway, and dropped trousers and pooped right on the sidewalk. I mean, it was disgusting. I saw that. I caught that on security camera. Because what happened was that the following morning I went outside. I was doing something. I think I was getting the mail or something. And I walked over there and I saw poop. I thought it was somebody walked their dog and people walk their dog and they poop the dog, whatever dog. It looked like human poop. It was nasty. So I went inside and I saw the replay on my security camera, though, not the ring, but the security camera. And it was somebody. It was like 3 in the morning. He pulled over right there in my driveway. I guess he really had to go, and he pooped right there. Nasty. I mean, disgusting. I mean, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. I guess So I don't wanna. It's disgusting. I mean, at least go in the woods, because there's woods right next to my house. Just if you gotta poop, go in the woods. But I guess you didn't want to go in there because maybe bugs or who knows what. Why am I even talking about this nasty stuff? But so that's what happened right now across the street. When I went to the store, on the way back, I was walking across the street and I saw that box. So when I saw that box with the human poop, I was like, oh my God, don't tell me these people. So they're at it tonight. They're drinking. So who knows? Maybe tonight, maybe they go on their phone and do that FM transmitter thing and they start. Because that's what happened it was early last summer. Was it last fall or last summer? I forgot. I think it was last summer. Probably last summer it was. So somebody parked right in front of my house. And, the guy was talking to his wife, I guess, or whatever. And then, he put on the FM transmitter, I guess, because to use so he could talk on the car stereo. I guess he used because they had the FM transmitter or the Bluetooth. They also have a Bluetooth transmitter, but I guess he has an FM one. So when he was talking to his wife. No. First, I guess he was playing music from his smartphone to the car stereo, so he could hear it. Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people use the FM transmitter. They put it on a station. You put it on a station that's empty, and then you play your whatever, your MP3 list or whatever, your streaming list to the car, and you can hear it through the car speakers. But I guess he forgot that he left the FM transmitter on, and he's talking to his wife. And then he was talking to his wife, like whatever the hell he was doing. And then after that, he started watching porn. That's what he was doing. He started watching porn because we all listening on it. Because by that time, it was already on my web server. I guess it was a couple of people. I'm not gonna name who it was because just because of reasons. But anyway, and the guy, suddenly all you hear is some activities. I'm gonna call it activity because I don't want to get graphic, but all you hear is some moaning and stuff. So we like, is this guy watching what I think he's watching? And yeah, and that's what it was. And then finally, I guess I don't know if he noticed that he was broadcasting the whole thing on an FM freak. By the way, it was 88.3 he had it on, which is WBGO here locally. But of course, anybody that was around this area was not listening to WBGO that night. They were listening to this guy watching, rhymes with corn. He was watching something that rhymes with corn. So that's what happened. So, I think that's the same people that are out there drinking right now. And like I said, there's a box right across the street from my house of human waste. So it's probably one of these guys drunk out of their ass and they want to go inside their house and they, drop trousers right across the street. So only, you think when, it happens here in Yonkers too. It happens here in Yonkers. So yeah, and it's crazy. Yeah, so that's why I'm testing out this ring cam with this thing. And if this guy comes out and goes over to that box, I'm gonna go outside and see if this is the same, one of my neighbors, and I'm gonna confront him. I'm gonna say, "Yo, what you doing, bro? Like that. You don't have you can't go to like a restroom. You can't go to across the street or something or whatever. You have to drop trousers right there in a cardboard box. That's just disgusting. It's nasty. It's just, it really is nasty. It's just disgusting. Oof. But of course, I'm doing this because might as well stream on it, and then if because I know somebody's gonna get slick tonight, and they're gonna try to put it across the street to my side, in that cardboard box with that, and they're gonna hear from me, so help me God, I will put on latex gloves and wear a mask. I will take that box and fling it in their car. Don't think it won't happen. I just said it here live. Don't think it won't happen. I done it before. There was one time there was this tenants across the street, and another house that you can't see here. She kept bringing her doggy over here to do his business. And one day, because I didn't know that he could, because she lets him run around without the leash. So the little doggy would come over here. So he did his business right on my sidewalk. I said, okay, oh, you want to play stupid and you don't know your dog is doing this stuff? So she went inside her house and whatever. And I'm going to say, I don't care. I'm very, whatever. You want to call me vindictive, whatever. I don't care what people call me. I told her, I said, oh, you want to keep playing that game then? Okay. So she went inside. I waited a few hours. It was late. I went outside. I have some latex gloves on. I picked it up with my hand. I went across the street and put it on her windshield. Here you go. This belongs to your dog. There you go. I've done it before, and hey, I'm sure the next morning she saw her little doggy's, gifts to me. I returned the gift right back to her in her windshield. There you go. I don't play that. By the way, when that happened, she never did it again. They had an idea that that's probably me. But don't bring your dog over here pretending like, oh, I don't know what my dog is doing. It's your dog. First of all, have him on a leash. Second of all, you don't let your dog run around and go across the street. Oh yeah, I'm gonna handle my business here, and you're gonna nonchalantly act like you don't know what's going on with the dog. Come on, it's ridiculous. Hello, Samuel Reyes. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Cheers to everybody. Yeah. So yeah, so I think it quieted down now. I don't hear I don't hear no music going on or nothing. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is stuff I got to deal with. Everybody has neighbors. Okay, somebody revved their engine. There we go. Sorry, I hope somebody's eardrums got blown out on that one. That's definitely was a engine rev or something. And I don't have the microphone. I didn't put the microphone outside. I'm hearing the audio, but they cannot hear me, so I don't want to. Let's see. Gonna connect the front door. Okay, something's going on with the feed now. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Let me close that. Let me click on live again. Let's see. All right, let me put audio. Okay. I guess it timed out. There we go. All right. Yeah. So yeah, so this seems to be working. The only thing about the Ring camera is it does time out though. So to leave this live streaming for unless I'm here like this, it's not gonna work. Now for a bird feeder camera, of course I wouldn't use nothing. I wouldn't use anything like this because this is a doorbell cam, by the way. This is a Ring doorbell cam. This is the one that when people go, they ring the doorbell and. Now the next step is to maybe try one of these later on. Because this one I want to have it up in front of my house, but I want to have it on top of my garage in a housing. but not this one. I'm gonna get an outdoor one. I do want to get an outdoor one. So you're gonna see videos. You're gonna see more stuff like this, but this is just the beginning. And of course, I'm gonna have the bird cam one, which is right here. The box is right there. Bird cam. And like I said, I'm gonna do the unboxing. Hopefully, um, most likely tomorrow, because I think tomorrow the weather's not gonna be that good here in Yonkers. It's gonna be a little. I think it's gonna be. We may have a chance of rain and all that. So I will probably do the unboxing and maybe not only the unboxing, I'll probably do the assembly. And not to have it outside, but the assembly just to show you whatever. I don't know. And then tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, I should get the other package, which is the pole. Is a pole with the is a bracket. It's for bird houses. You want to mount the birdhouse on a pole. Let me put something. I'm gonna try something. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go like this. Oh, no, let me do F11. Let's see how it looks over here. I don't know. I'm gonna do the. Oh no, wrong. No, you know what? There we go. Somebody saw that right now. Now they know. I'm gonna have to. Let me go to 88.3. I wanna know if they. All right. So nothing there. All right. All right. Let me go back to the dashboard. F11. Then I'll switch. Actually, I can put it here. No, not this one. I should get another radio and try it. So I hear them talking now. I hear somebody talking. Maybe they're outside next door. That's why. When I hear them like that clearly, they're probably outside standing talking, or they're in their vehicle. It's definitely a door slam, car door slam. Let's see how long I'm. Oh, 34 minutes. Okay. I'm not gonna be on super duper long, so then I'm gonna play it back and see how the playback looks. But yeah, so this is the ring door cam from my house. But yeah, that was nasty. Whoever did that left that box across the street with the nasty. Floating head, the floating head. way too much fun with this. That's how it looks on the phone. It's not that bad. The vertical. And this reminds me of TikTok right now. I have people watching, but nobody wants to chat. Oh well. Money Samuel Reyes. Man, I think it's loud. I didn't sound like that. Wow, that's loud. Oh my god. My god. Let me skip that. I don't know why his voice is like that. Anyway, in the meanwhile, I ordered the DP666. My god. What the hell? Y'all hope none of you guys are wearing headphones. Oh my god. And I lower the volume. It's not that high. It's just the ring door cam. I guess the mic is very. I could turn off the sound, but I don't want to do that because I want to see if they're talking or. My god. Unless they have trouble starting one of their vehicles. Okay, that's the pickup right there. Oh my god. Let me lower the desktop audio down. Let me put it down here. Hopefully that'll lower that revving sound. Yeah, so like I said before, I ordered the DP666 the day before yesterday, the night before yesterday. I looked everywhere for a good price. Let me see what this guy. And this is one of them. This white F-150. This is the one that as a matter of fact, that was the one that was parked in front of my house last year. That was the one I was playing. You know, that rhymes with corn. That's the white truck right there that was parked there. And you just saw it right now. But there's another vehicle that's out there. This SUV that's right here to your the SUV that's not parallel parked in front of my house. The one that's right here to my right, to the right of the screen. That's kind of parked in the driveway. That that that's a temporary one. I guess he's inside the house. is inside their house drinking, or he's drinking in one of the other vehicles. And the thing is, people when they drink, they get smashed. I mean, I seen them fall on their face, literally. Like they're so drunk that they can't even walk straight. And they'll walk. And as a matter of fact, that vehicle that the one I'm just telling you about right now, it was about a few months ago. The guy was trying to walk into that vehicle, and I guess he thought he was leaning on the vehicle, and he wasn't. He was leaning on air, and he fell. He almost went under that vehicle. He fell literally like face planted, and you could see his hand thinking that he's leaning on the vehicle, and he's not. And he wound up almost going under the vehicle. That's how he fell. And everybody was looking at him and laughing at him like, "What is wrong with you?" Okay, we go. Reconnect here. So yeah. So it was more than 10 minutes to that one. Yeah. Anyway, so getting back to the DP666. Yeah. So the night before I ordered it, I looked everywhere for it. Some of them, like Alibaba, had it down to $57 and change for the base price. But then they try to bait and switch you with the shipping and all the taxes. Like, I guess they added some surcharges, and it came out to like more than the AliExpress price. Because I went to Banggood. I have an account with. I didn't know how to account with. I do have an account with Banggood, but I just never shopped at Banggood. So Banggood, same thing. It was like $58 and change, right? But then when you go to checkout, it's like By the way, none of the promo codes. I tried every promo code there was under the sun. None of them worked with any of them. AliExpress, Alibaba, and Banggood. I couldn't get no promo code to work on different ones. I went to a couple of websites, and none of them were working. So I wanted to buy it from AliExpress. The total was $87. That was the cheapest one I can buy. $87. So the original price, I think, was $74. It was like $74.10 or something like that. And then, but the shipping was free. But there was taxes. No, shipping wasn't free. I think it was no. Shipping was $5.99 or something like that. $5.99, and then anyway, the total came out to $87 and change. So that's the best deal I could have got for the red version. Now that's the red version. By the way, only two places sell the red one: AliExpress and Banggood. Alibaba didn't even have the red one. They didn't have a red one at all. Oh, actually they did, but that was the one beta. Never mind, they did. Now, if you wanted to buy the white one or the black one, or even the yellow one, but the white and black one especially, they're a little less. And I think in some of them they're a little less. So it seems like the red one is the one that a lot of people, I guess that one that one is the one that gets. They don't have that much supply on the red one. So I had to snatch the red one because I think it was down to the last one. And I was taking my time looking for it, but then I said, you know what, I'm just going to pull the trigger and get the red one. Because I really want the red one. I was very close to buying the white one, or even the yellow one. But I was like, nah, you know what, it was only a few bucks more. It was not like a $20 difference. It was like $5 difference in total. So I said, you know what, I'll just get the red one. Because if I wouldn't have got the red one, I would have been kicking myself. So I do have the red one. So that's the one that's coming, the red one. I wanted the red one, a fire red one. And then the display looks yellow like that. I'm gonna put it like that. I'm gonna do the thing with the red and the yellow. That's why I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it like that. If they hopefully they have that theme in there. So yeah. So now the next step is I was looking into the nano VNA, but the more I look into it, I don't think I want to get it anytime soon. I just don't have a use for it. I don't want to buy something and not use it. That's the other thing I'm trying. I'm trying to. I'm really trying to spend the money wisely. You know, because I don't want to buy something that I don't use. Right now, I did that a couple of times already. I still have the CW trainer up there that I haven't even unboxed yet, and I wanted to use that, but and I think I paid like if I remember, I think it was like almost $50 for that. So I'm really trying to be selective on what I buy um, for that. So with the YouTube the money that I made from YouTube. Of course, I still have to buy the. I know I talked about that gimbal, but I'm gonna look around see if I can get something. You know, let me see. I'm gonna look around for the gimbal. The headphone. I know Todd donated $19.99 for the headphone. I remember one time he did that. So right now I do have the blue one that I'm still using. It's still pretty good. It works fine. The next step up will be a wireless headphones, but the thing is that they're a lot more expensive. But I don't know if I really want to buy wireless headphones right now. So I'm gonna hold off on the headphone purchase just only because there's only two reasons why I want to hold off on it. One is because I can get another pair of headphones similar to the one that I have, and that's fine. That's about $20. So if I don't find anything within the next few days, I'll probably pull the trigger and get a new pair of headphones for streaming. And then these headphones, I'll just keep them for something else. And I'll have exclusive headphones here for streaming, and I'll use them for another. Because this one I use them a lot, but they still work. It's just they're beat up. They just the spray of the foam is all gone, things like that. And the reason why I'm trying to not pull the trigger on wireless headphones and all that because I've been approached by a couple of sponsors in the past few months, but some of them are suspect. One of them was for wireless headphones for gaming and things like that. So if they're going to sponsor me headphones, then I don't need to buy one. I could just they're going to send me, especially real nice ones. But that hasn't come. That hasn't fallen through yet. I do get because I do get requests for different things they want to send me. Some of them, a lot. I'm gonna say like half of them are kind of scammy. Because I some of them I could tell right away they're from the same domain, and I think they're mostly BS. But some of them are legit. Some of them they actually follow a question, like the boombox. Remember the boombox sponsorship? They we went back and forth a couple of times, and then finally I sent them my demographics because they wanted to know, by my analytics who watches this, and so I sent them a screenshot, and that's it. And I never heard from them again. So I guess maybe my channel was not big enough for them. I don't know what it is, but that's fine. And I appreciate that they at least reached out to me. So I'm not gonna say f you or anything like that to them, because they reached out to me at least. They just wanted to maybe go to a bigger channel. I don't know, whatever. Greater reach. I don't know. I can understand that. That's business. So yeah, and then that's why some items I haven't went out and bought them yet because like for example, a microphone. I'm happy with this microphone behind me, the Fifine or Fifine, excuse me, Fifine microphone. I'm happy with that one. But I had a couple of companies reach out to me. They wanted to send me a more expensive microphone, XLR microphone, type thing and all that. One of them wanted me to like really go in depth into the microphone. I didn't feel comfortable with that one, so I was like, I just I said thank you, but no thank you. And then one of them was they were trying to scam me again. The other one was like, oh, if you buy the microphone and you do the video, we'll reimburse you. I'm not doing reimbursements. I'm sorry. If you want me to review your product, you send it to me free of charge, no strings attached, and then I'll make the video because I'm giving you my time to make the video. right? You're already getting my time and my attention to your product. So even if I'm not compensated for that product, at least send me the product. Especially if I'm interested in the product, you know. But don't tell me to buy the product, then make a review on it, and then it's up to you to reimburse me. No, I'm not falling for that. That's a scam. By the way, you're gonna get that a lot. A lot of them are like that. To me, those are scams. Anytime a company asks you to buy their product and review and they'll reimburse you, they're just scamming you because they don't have to reimburse you. The minute you buy their product and make the video, they got what they wanted, even if it's negative. Even if you made a negative review on it, right? Because if you make a negative review on it, they're not gonna reimburse you anyway. They're definitely not gonna reimburse. They're gonna say, "Oh, f you. We don't have to reimburse you even more." But even if you make a good review of it, they don't have to accept you because they already got what they wanted. So yeah, so when you get emails like that, all you channels out there, don't fall for that. If a company stands behind that product, they will send you the product free of charge, no strings attached, and then it's up to you to decide if the product is worth spending. But don't buy the product for content and then they don't reimburse you. Many companies that try to do that scam thing on me. Oh, we love your channel. They try to butter you up. They try to butter you up with, oh, we love your channel and we like the way you're, they the opening message, they try to butter you up. And then they say, we would love to collaborate with you. They use these words like, oh, you really like my content. Well, people like my content. I'm genuine. That's why people like my content. I keep it real here. I'm not scripted. I don't run a script here. Look what I'm doing. I'm talking to you guys with a Ring door cam. Who does this? So yeah. So don't fall for those things. When they tell you, oh, if you buy the product and you make a review, we'll reimburse you plus commission or something. They'll try to throw it, and that's a scam. Unless they're gonna send it to you free of charge, no strings attached, then you decide. You know. Now, has there been a couple that I've been haven't done a review yet? Yeah, like the Radtel RT 470X, the handheld. I made an unboxing on it, but I have not made a review on it because I haven't had time. And I mean that seriously. I haven't had time to really sit down and review. And I'm at the point now where I'm no longer taking handhelds. The last one was the Quangshank TK11. That's gonna be the last radio that I will ever that they could send me for. Let me see, what was that? Ring is sending me a notice. All the batteries for 20%. That's why it's telling me front door needs charging. Yeah, because that. By the way, yeah, these Ring doorbells, they do need. Right now, mine's not hooked up to the power grid. To any power, in USB power, whatever. They have a battery in there that it's basically an 18650, probably. I didn't open it, but it's probably one of those. So you fully charge it. Lower the sensitivity of the. I lower the sensitivity of the motion, so you don't get crazy alerts all the time. So when I fully charge it, it lasts about a little over a month. So yeah, so I will be charging. I'll charge it tomorrow. I'm just having fun with this thing right now, doing this. But yeah, so and don't fall for that stuff. If you have a channel, and they tell you, oh, we're gonna send you, you buy the product and we're gonna reimburse you after you make the video. No, don't fall for that. That's a scam. Yeah. So the Deep Elect DP666, that's You know, they haven't shipped it out yet. I think right now still processing. Well, they processed the order for now. Right now, I'm waiting for it to be shipped. So hopefully it'll be here sometime next week. It should be here. And then I'll do an unboxing on that. I'll do an unboxing video on that. The mini, I will do a review on it soon. But there's not much to review on it because I already made a video on the original TEF. Review on that one. So it's going to be basically the same with a couple of caveats. Of course, I did fix my mini TEF 6686 radio. Of course, where's the little bag? I have it right here. Of course, I had one replacing the cable. I had one replacing the SMA connector with the connector to the board with one of these. Because this one is a bag of two, so I use one of these to replace it. Well, actually, I took the SDR when I replaced that one on the radio. Then the one that was here, I put it on the SDR. And you see the video. I made the video on that. The only thing about the 3D printed one is that I don't know if maybe it's just mine. They did not put a nut. I mean, not a nut. They did not put a washer on it. So when I received mine, I did the unboxing. I noticed that the connector was already kind of loose. And the thing was spinning. And I guess when I connected it, when I connect the antenna coax to the SMA connector, and I started spinning the connector, it broke off the connector to the wire. It broke. So that was the issue with that. But I think it might be because of mine that did not have the washer. You know, and there was, you know, it was too loose. But now that I replaced it, that one did have a washer. And once you tighten it with a washer, once you tighten the nut with the washer, with a lock washer, now you cannot freely, by hand, you cannot freely loosen it. You have to get a small adjustable wrench and, you know. So in other words, it's not going to get loosened now when you put the coax. You take the coax and it's not going to loosen. It shouldn't loosen it. And if you want to go a step further, you could put a little Loctite on it, on the nut, with the washer in there as you tighten it. But right now, it's in the boiler room. It's working fine. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I want to do a giveaway on it. I'm thinking about it. The thing is, I'm the type of person I don't like to give away stuff that it might not work very well. Because even though that one works fine, the mini, I'm probably gonna keep it anyway. I don't know. I'm not gonna have use for it. Once I get the DP DP 66, that's gonna be my everyday radio. For the 6600, for the 86, for the TF 6686 in terms of portable. I guess the mini is gonna be right there collecting dust at that point. Because I already have this one as a server, the original one. This one is a server. Now another thing, and now that we're getting into the topic about the server, I'm no longer putting it public in the map anymore because I mentioned that in the Discord. And by the way, if you're not a member of Discord, join the Discord. You should join the Discord. Only because let me see if I can put the link here. If I put the command here for that, if I can put the command for that Discord. Put send. See if I get the command for that. If Nightbot post the link. Okay, there you go. So Nightbot, I enabled Nightbot right there. Yeah, so Discord link is right there. I'm gonna pin the Discord link in the. Oh, I can't do it yet. I forgot. I have to sign in. I have to do it right here. So let me pin message. There you go. I'll do it on my phone. So now I pinned the message. Okay, so if you haven't joined my Discord, join the Discord. I do voice chat in there. I tested a live stream inside Discord, but I do enjoy the voice chat. I chatted with a few people in there already live. You know, you don't have to show your face for the voice chat. You can just have a microphone. So I chatted with like Chicopee Radio. I chatted with Keegan DeExter. I chatted with Andy, Randomness, Alex. Is the Alex the audio Figgin? I think it's Figgin. He does a lot of antenna, do it yourself antenna designs, which is pretty cool. So there's a few people I chatted with in there live. So at some point in the future, I may incorporate it live on this stream, on this YouTube live, and have the voice chat. Have the voice chat live. I may do that in the future, but I want to make sure I have their permission if I do that. You know, I don't want to put nobody on the spot, especially if they don't want to show their face. You know, I get that. So if I were to put live on my live stream, the Discord voice chat, what I'll do is I'll tell them voice chat only, no video. In other words, I don't want don't show your face. I think that'll be better. Plus, I think that'll be better for bandwidth also, for speed. I think voice just listen to everybody's voice. We'll do that once in a while. I don't want to, once in a while do that, and because I think, we can do that too. I think it'll be something different. You want to, change it up a bit every so often. So, I'm looking into that. Trying to see what else I want to cover. Let's see what else I want to cover here before I wrap this up. So 1 hour in, there we go. Somebody's dog is barking now. Yeah, so the deep elect it should be here hopefully in about a week or so. But it hasn't been shipped out yet, so hopefully by over the weekend it'll be shipped out, and then we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about the server. Yeah. So the server right now is no longer going to be publicly accessible through the map. The server, the worldwide server map. Right now it is online, but I changed the port number on it. I want to make it private for me for now, just for tonight. There was an incident earlier today where I did post it. Well, I did update the server with a different port, and somebody connected to it, even though nobody should know the port number. Now, I'm thinking that the person that connected to it probably went to another website and saw that I posted a link there. Because otherwise, that would be pretty freaking creepy. So I'm trying to be like give the person benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna say where the person was from, but it wasn't a regular. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it could have been a regular. It could have been somebody from a certain area. Because the reason I'm gonna say right now, the reason why I had to take the server off public is it seems like when I come on, I get botted. I think my server is getting botted now. That means that people already either, what I mean by botted is that they already have me bookmarked or something, and every time I connect, maybe they have a setup that they automatically connect to my server to listen to the radio, which is ridiculous. I don't understand that. The purpose of sharing the FMDX web server was for people to go in there, not bots, real humans to go in there and tune the band, and hopefully they can even pick up a DX. And that was the purpose. It was not to be somebody's Z100 live stream all day. And that's what was happening before I finally pulled the plug on it. It was one particular actually started with Indiana. Somebody from Indiana kept going to like 106.7, 106.7. And I'm like, all day. I get it, I get it, people. New York City has a lot of great stations. I get it. It's a big It's the biggest city in America. I get it. But I put the instructions there really specifically. You cannot hang around the server all day because you're taking away other people's enjoyment. That's not cool. You know, don't be selfish. But apparently, people just don't. People just want to ruin it for everybody. So, you know, let me reconnect again because I don't want it to kick me off the let me switch it back. Yeah. So that's what happened. So they ruin it for everybody. You know, like if you want to listen to Z100 or whatever, just go on an app and listen to it. All you can listen to it all day, all you want. But don't use my radio just to connect just to listen to a local station here and use it as a radio stream. That's not the purpose of it. The term FMDX web server is for people to DX on FM. It's for people to go to my radio and try to DX from my antenna setup. And the reason why I like the concept because not everybody can have a nice antenna setup. You know, not everybody can have an outdoor antenna setup like mine. So when somebody comes in my radio and they see two people connected, it's frustrating that there's always 2 or 3 people connected when you're just hogging up the server. So listen to Z100. When somebody wants to use my server to connect to, like, for example, you know, on open frequency and maybe get a DX. You understand? And that it was frustrating banning that IP address, and then they come back with another IP address with the same city. First, like I said, it was somebody from Indiana, no, Illinois, excuse me. It was somebody from Illinois first. Then it was somebody from Middletown, New York. You know, same thing. You know, Z100 or 106.7 Light FM or something. And then there was somebody from White Plains, New York, right here. And then the last one was Queens. And I don't think that's Tassel because you know it's not Tassel. I don't think it's Andy because they know better not to just sit around and hog up a server all day. So it's somebody else. So today I changed the port, and I didn't announce it. I didn't put it on the Discord. I did not announce my URL with the new port. But this person found out my port and connected to it, even though nobody was supposed to be connected to it earlier this afternoon. So I changed it again. Because now I just told you what I did. I changed it again. Now, if this person connects to it tonight, I'm not going to tell you what it is tonight. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to see who connects to it tonight. And I'm going to tell you if this person connects to it and it's from the same, I think this person is really, he's just doing some port scanning. He's just scanning through all my ports, so he's doing something. He literally probably scanning through all my ports. He's probably running some kind of program. But I already know his location too. By the way, I know your location, whoever you are. It pinpointed to a house. And I know the house is not far from where I'm at. I'm telling you that right now. I could take the subway and get there. And let me tell you something. I tracked the IP down to the house of that person. Okay? The same thing you going through my thing, I tracked you down. It's 3 separate sources. I tracked them down. I tracked down to one address and I'll leave it at that. And I don't think it's the other 2. I think it's somebody else. I'm gonna leave it at that. And because I didn't announce this one, and within hours the person connect to it. So this time I'm gonna leave it on, see who connects to it tonight, and I'm gonna see. Okay, I did not announce what port it is, unless they took a guess or they're running some kind of script, and that's it. Yeah, and this is the problem. This is another problem I have, that people, even though you ban them, they come with another IP address because maybe they're using a virtual, a VPN, VPN. That also discouraged me from sharing my radio. Originally, when I wanted to share my survey, I really had good intentions about it. I still have good intentions about it. What I mean is, unfortunately, other people out there just ruin it for everybody else. That's it. That's the only way, other way, only way I can put it. I mean, I can put it in a more vulgar way, but I'm trying to keep it clean tonight. And um, hence the word FMDX web service. For people to go in there and I do that. I go to another radio. I tune the band. Let's say if it's a one I haven't tuned, like when somebody opens up a new radio in a new city or town, I'll go in there just to hear the channel lineup, to hear the stations, and then that's it. It's not to lock it in at one station and listen to it for hours at a time and deprive other people from using it, like these people were doing here. And it was getting ridiculous. Just in a span of 3 days, I banned 10 IP addresses. And I got fed up. I said, you know what? That's it. They're ruining it for everybody. So this whole, right now, for the time being, it's going to stay like that. It's going to stay private. I don't have it listed on the map. So if you go on the map, you're not going to find you're not going to find my server there no more. I'm done with that. There was no been, by the way, that was another thing I was hoping for. That when I had it on the map, I was hoping more people would go there and then wind up joining my channel and joining my Discord. A few people did, like I met a couple of more people through FMDX web server. But at this point now, it's not beneficial to me anymore to have it open to the public and deal with this nonsense. Because I heard, yeah, because I heard, no, I'm going to make it exclusive for the Discord group. I'm not going to announce it tonight what it is. I'm going to wait a couple of days because I'm trying to find out who's the one that's keep botting my server. I already have a pinpoint to an address. I already have it down to one address that's botting my server right now. And I by the way, I heard I watched your video that when you said I hope I put a stop to it. And that's what I did, Andy. Because it is discouraging when people go to my server and there's always 2 people connected, 3 people connected all the time. So I that's why I put a stop to it. Because I saw your video and you said it. You said I wish he would put a stop to it. And believe me, it was getting out of control, Andy. It was getting out of control with my server. The same people, it's the same 2 or 3 people. The same 2 or 3 people. And they're all local. It's not even, they're all local. One is from Brooklyn that keeps doing this. One is from Middletown. And the other one, unfortunately, is from that area, from, around there. Because I don't want to give away, but somebody's, now that one is botting me. Because that one got through today. Even though I completely changed the port and everything, that one got through today. And now, and I'm trying to figure out who was that. But yeah, I'm gonna wait a couple of days, and then well, from now on, what I'm gonna do is I just put it on the Discord. I'm just gonna put it on the Discord. So the only way you're gonna access my server is you gotta be on my Discord. You better be on my Discord, and even if you connect through my Discord, even if I post it on Discord only, if the person is on the best behavior, I will ban them. I don't care. It's not gonna matter. I don't care if they're a member of the Discord or not. I'm gonna make it strict. I'm gonna make it really strict now. That's it. Because I'm done with that. I'm done with having my server online, and then people get frustrated that they can't connect because there's always people botting my server. I swear to God, sometimes I boot up, within not even a minute, somebody's already connected to my server. That means they have me like bookmark. They already have me bookmark and botting. And they connect every freaking few minutes. Literally every few minutes they connect. And they'll put on one station, either Z100. These are the top stations they put on. Hot 97, I had a couple of Hot 97 or Z100. Yeah, auto tune. Exactly. Either 106.7 Light FM. It's usually Light FM, but that was the Brooklyn one. No, the Middletown one. Middletown, New York was Light FM all the time. Light FM. Then the one in Brooklyn was Z100. You live in Brooklyn. Why are you auto tuning Z100? You don't have a radio to listen to Z100? Z100 can be heard in New Jersey. Z100 can be heard in I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like seriously. Like, it is automated. Yeah, they auto tune the frequency or something. So, and I put a stop to it. That's it. Now, I'm using it right now. I'm going to use it tonight because I want to DX tonight because it's conditions. I heard a couple of cracklings here and there, so I'm trying to see if I get this station tonight or something. At least some tropo or something. I don't know. But I'm not going to have it running 24/7 anymore. I'm not going to have it days at a time no more. I'm done with that. When I'm going to use it, I'll turn it on. When I'm not using it, it's going to go off. And that's it. And then when I'm going to wait a couple, maybe I'll probably post it tomorrow because I want to see who's the smart ass that's trying to connect to it tonight. And then when I post it, it's going to be on Discord only. And all I'm going to ask is do not give it out to anybody that's not a Discord member. If they're not a member of my group, I don't want them to have access to my server. That's it. That's the exclusivity that I'm going to put on my server now. If you're not a member of my server, you will not connect to my radio. That's it. So I'm going to really, right now, nobody should be connected to it right now because nobody should know the port number right now. Because I changed it. I can change it whatever I want. That's the beauty about port numbers. Even though you might know the URL address, but if you don't know the port number, you're not going to connect to my radio. That's it. Now, I may take it a step further after that. I may do a private server. Totally private. That means I'll give out a password to a few people. And that'll be it. I'm looking into that. The only problem is that when I did a private server, one particular person kept unprivatizing it. And you know who we're talking about now. And, I don't know. Because he annoyed me with that nonsense. So that's why I don't. But yeah, that's why I no longer I'm right now. I'm not motivated to share the server anymore in public because people ruin it. People just ruin it for everybody. They just do. It's unfortunate. Now I know when school is over, I think Chasto's gonna have his online. Probably not all day, but at least. And once he has his online, then nobody has no reason. There's gonna be no reason for people to connect to mine all the time because there'll be another New York City server. Right now, I'm the only one closest. I'm closest to New York City. I'm right outside New York City. I'm in Yonkers. So, but once another person opens up another New York City server, then I know. Well, hopefully somebody will do an LA server one day. I know, and I mean, right now compared to what it was a year ago, is getting there. I think that's the next one. I think somebody is gonna do an LA server, because of course there's somebody got a Seattle one, somebody got what's the other one? Bay Area. One is in the Bay Area, right? San Francisco, Sacramento. Northern California. So the next one will be probably LA. I know Todd. He lives in he visits Colorado. He goes to Denver, I believe. So he's thinking about opening one in Denver. I know there was a Chicago server for a while. So Well, the next step is I really think and it's hard. That's the other thing. It's hard to kind of. I try. Believe me, I tried everything. I tried the timeout thing. I have the inactivity monitor plug-in that if you connect, when you connect to my server, you have an hour time limit. Then it's supposed to kick you off. But the problem is that after it kicks you off, nothing prevents you from coming back. So I pleaded with the admin. I said, listen, you need to make a script that if you've been on the server for more than 1 hour or the hour time limit, after that you should not be on for the rest of the day. It should not allow you to come back on for the rest of the day. Like, not only because the inactivity monitor, there's one called inactivity monitor. I have that plugin. And that plugin, what it does is if you connect to my server, you got an hour. You got 1 hour to use it. If you don't surrender the server within an hour, you get kicked off. You get kicked off. The problem is that when you get kicked off, it doesn't prevent you from coming back. So people just come back. So that's the part that really, so it doesn't work. And then even posting it, telling people, please don't hack the server, people just don't listen. People are very inconsiderate. So now I'm not going to ruin my DX. I spent money on these antennas. I'm going to enjoy my DXing season. I'm just not going to share it publicly anymore. I'm going to do my catches. I'm going to have them on video. I'm going to post them on my YouTube channel, and that's it. Now, when I feel like opening up I'm not even going to open up to the public no more. Like I said, when I do post my URL, I will post it on Discord only, and then you guys can use it for whatever time. And then I will probably change the port number every once in a while. I'm going to change it again. Because, I'm getting botted. So far, since I changed the latest port number, let me see how. No, I don't want to do it here because I don't want people to see the URL and then. But it's been I think 3 hours now since I changed it. About 3 or 4 hours now. So, but I'm gonna keep it like that tonight because tonight I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna tune whatever. But I'll probably share it tomorrow, and then when I share it tomorrow, it's just Discord only. Discord members only. That's it. That means I don't want to see it public. I don't want to see it in somebody's video. If you put in a video, you better blur out. Anyway, I'm going to change it off in anyway. Actually, I'm going to change it off in anyway, so it doesn't matter. Even if you put it, because, if you want to put on a video, I get it. I understand that. I should have said that. But I wanted the Discord only members until it gets a little bit crazy. Then I'll change it again. It only takes me 1 minute. Oh, it usually takes me a minute to change the port on my router and then update the address on my FMDX web server software. And that's all it takes. 1 click here, 1 click there. Actually, 2 clicks on the FMDX web server because it's 2 areas where I have to change the number. And that's it. That's all it takes. And a refresh. A reboot from the server and a refresh on my browser. So maybe the other guy guessed the port number. I made it too easy last time. And that's it. And that's why people probably in America don't want to deal with that. All these people connecting. When people have a server, they probably dealt with idiots. I don't blame them because I'm this close to shutting it down. I'm this close to shutting it down permanent. But I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna keep it on for this DX season. But as soon as this DX season ends, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm not gonna have it no more on AM, and I tried all that. It wasn't my right now. My AM reception, or medium wave reception here, and this, especially in this station, is very noisy. So I'm done with that. I've done that. Everybody got a taste of it. That's fine. But as soon as I'm gonna have this, is gonna be my last summer doing this, and then I'm gonna shut it down. There's gonna be no more Yonkers, New York DX web server until maybe it's the summer of 2027. I'll bring it back just for the summer. But I'm not gonna do all year round thing anymore. Having it, I'm not doing that. Forget it. It's not worth it. Too much of a hassle. People are very inconsiderate. And if I do have it on, it's gonna be just for me on the weekend or something if I want to do. But I think after this summer, because I have other plans. There's other things I don't want to talk about in this live stream. But there's other things I wanna do in terms it's the direction of the channel, which I'm already been doing that. But yeah, I'm ready for the DX, FMDX season now. I'm ready for that. But after this one, I don't know if I want to do another one. I think I'll be done with that. I think I'm at the point now where I hate to say it, I think the radio hobby for me is starting to be. I'm getting bored with it. I'm getting bored with all the nonsense that's going on. I know I talked about upgrading to my general, but the more things I see, the more things I just don't care anymore. I'm at the point now where, you know, I enjoy my radio hobby, but now I feel like, right now, for example, I bought the DP666. Did I need to buy that radio? No, I wanted to buy it because this one is broken. This one I cannot upgrade no more. That's why I bought that radio. That's the only reason why I really bought it. That's the only reason why I bought it. So I wanted that radio because of that. And that's it. Now, would I buy another one after that? No. I'm not going to buy another TF radio. That's it. That's going to be my last one. You know? And that's the thing that I'm going through right now. There's another radio that I saw that was very interesting to me. It's called the K3. It is the K3. It is, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's SI4732 chip. I don't know what it is. It looks like a very interesting radio. It is a wideband radio. It goes all the way up to, I think, yeah, all the way up to UHF. It's a wideband radio. It's from longwave all the way to UHF. It kind of looks like an ATS radio, ATS 25 radio type radio. That's the one that seems to be catching my attention lately. But I don't want to pay over, I mean, right now that radio is about, I think it's almost $100 or something. But after buying this radio, I don't know if I want to buy another radio anytime soon. Like I just been taking it easy. And this thing with FMDX web server, this community now, I'm gonna at the point now where I was very disillusioned with the community in general. Even the FMDX.org Discord, I'm still in there, but I'm not active in there anymore. I don't chat in there no more. Most people that I've seen in there, they're just a bunch of smart asses, a bunch of you post something, you get every troll that comes out of there, and negative stuff, always challenging you with nonsense and all that. And I just don't have the time of day for that. I don't have the time of day. I'm 59 and I'm gonna be 60 in September. I just don't have time to deal with idiots, especially juveniles. I just don't have the time for that. I really don't. And that's why I really put the focus and energy on my server, on my Discord server. I'm trying to create a space in there where people can go in there and post stuff and not get ridiculed for every little thing, And that's what happened with the FMDX.org Discord. Every time you go in there, I feel like you get ridiculed. And I'm beyond that. I mean, I don't care. I don't deal with that. Like, you. For example, Chicopee Radio, right? It was me. I'm gonna give myself credit. Boop, boop. Here you go, tooting my horn. I gave myself credit. I was the only one that actually walked them through. We did it through voice chat, and he finally got his server up and running. He was just missing a couple of things. But that's what community is supposed to do. We're supposed to help each other out, not ridicule each other. But of course, if people in there, they don't do that. They don't help. They don't help people out. All I see is people ridicule people in there, and they wonder why this hobby gets a black eye. Because that's what a lot of people do. They ridicule people. The same thing with amateur radio operators. They all say a lot of them are like that too. They ridicule people instead of trying to advance the hobby, be more welcoming to new people. They don't do that. They're just too busy want to ridicule people. So that's why I'm disillusioned about it. I really don't. There's no honestly. There's no motivation for me to get my general license. What to talk to people at 20 meters? You know, I can do that now. I have the skill set to do that now. Why is a piece of paper preventing me from talking to people at 20 meters? I'm going to use the same power that I use on 10. I use 100 watts. Yeah, there's more people on 20 all day. Yeah, there is. But just to talk to more people, just to make more contacts, then it becomes a numbers game. Right now, what I've done in 3 years, I'm pretty happy with it. I did a lot in 3 years. There's a lot of operators out there that have a QRZ account. They haven't done the body of work that I already did, and I only done it in 3 years. So, and by the way, some of them do have channels, and you want to compare my body of work to their body of work, even modes. I've done different modes, not just single sideband. So I'm at the point now where I really don't care. I don't want to spend more money on a hobby that's. And I'll be quite frank with you. It's a dying hobby. It is a dying hobby. Yeah, there you go. I said it. It is a dying hobby. I dropped $1,300 for that radio right here for the Yaesu FT9918. Yeah, I don't regret buying it. But would I buy another radio now? I don't think I will now. I thought about the 7300, but now the more I think about it, I don't know if I want to buy another radio. Like, drop that much money on it now. For what? Just to talk to a couple of old people, the old folks, or do another FTA contact. At some point it gets. There's a lot of other things in life to do. And I finally get to that point where what? Okay, I did what I did, and I got my body of work. I would like to do other stuff too, and that's where I'm at. So so this server thing now is gonna be exclusive to Discord members only. And right now I'm gonna enjoy it tonight, but then I'll probably post it tomorrow. And then that Discord, that link, it'll probably be good for a few days until too many people get a wind of it, and then you get the trollers, and then I'll change the port number again. But I'm not putting it on the map no more. So if you go on the map, you're not gonna see my server there because I checked off that option. He's not public anymore to the map. And that's sad, because I did like, the map part. I do like the part that some people from all over the world connect to it. Of course, I got people from all over the world connected to it. It's nice to see that people enjoy New York City radio. But unfortunately, there's a few bad apples in my own area, because they're all from the tri-state area except for one in Illinois. That's ruining it for everybody. And North Carolina, by the way, that was another person that kept connecting to it, like bodying it. It was North Carolina. That was another one. Right now, my band list is like 15 people. And 10 of them happened in a span of 3 days. It was really every day I had to ban 2 or 3 people. So for 3 days, I had like 10 people. I added 10 more people to the band list. And I said, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm sorry, Andy, that this happened, but I listened. I watched the video that you posted, and I listened to the frustration, and that's what prompted me to lay down the hammer. It was your video, the frustration, and your voice. So we're just gonna do it like this now. I'm gonna post it on Discord, and only you guys are gonna use it. That's it. And don't give it out to anybody else. That's it. That's all I ask. Don't give it out to anybody else. And that's it. And every once in a while, I'm going to change it anyway. I'm going to change the port number anyway, just because of the bots. And that's it. You know. Before I was, that's the other thing. Before I was thinking about not including the port number on my URL. You know, there's a URL forwarding that you can, hide the port number. But actually, the port number is a good thing because I can change the port number anytime I want. So even though people bookmark, whatever, I have like 5 Duck DNS domains pointing to it right now. 5 separate domains pointing to it. And all of them, you can bookmark all those URLs you want. But when the minute I change the port number, they become useless. Because if you don't know the port number, you're not going to connect to my radio. You might connect to the server. You might connect to my homepage. You will connect to my homepage. But you're not going to connect to the server port. Because, if you don't know that server port, you're going to get pages down. So if you try to connect to port 8998 right now, it's dead. Because it's no longer. By the way, not only I changed the URL of the port number, I delete the old one. So that's another thing. I delete the old one too. So there's no way you're gonna get to that URL. It's dead. So the minute you put port 8988 or port 8080 or whatever passports I had, they're all dead. Green apples. How you like those green apples? All right. How you like those apples? So when I post a URL on Discord, it might work for a week. It might work for a couple of days. It might work for a couple of hours, depending on who goes in there and starts bodying the shit out of it. Oh, sorry. Curse word. I went too far without a curse word. I finally said a curse word. There you go. Sorry about that. But yeah, so be it. That's the way it's going to be from now on. It sucks because I want people all over the world to connect to it. But when you have a few bad apples, ruin it for everybody else, And by the way, there's a third antenna I'm going to put up. The broken Yagi, I already broke it off because it already broke. But I need to cut it and fix it. I'm going to cut it with a hacksaw. Just, because right now it's a tear. I can show you the antenna, but anyway, it's a small screen. So that one is going to be a 3-element Yagi instead of 4-element Yagi. So I lost one of the elements because that's where remember the antenna had broke. The bend was so severe that it broke the boom. So right there, what I'm going to do is I need to find my hacksaw, just cut a little bit, get it closer to and then that antenna is going to go up this weekend. That's going to be my third antenna. The 3-element Yagi is going to go up. I don't know if I want to point it east or west yet. I don't know which one. I may point that one north actually, and take So I may point that one north, and then take the folded dipole. Right now it's pointing northwest. The folded dipole. I'm going to point that one west, and then the 3-element I will point that one north. So, but that's going to be the third antenna, the 3-element Yagi. So the 4-element is going to stay the same. It's pointing toward New York City and down the Jersey Shore. But the other two, the omnidirectional one, I will switch that one. I will move it to, right now it's pointing north. Let me see, northwest, north to northwest, up the Hudson. I'm going to move that one. I'm going to point that one west, most likely. Or maybe even east. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll try east, see what happens. And then the other one, the 3-element Yagi. You know what? I'll bring it over here. Actually, let me flip the screen. We're done with this cam thing. So let me flip the screen. Let me do that actually right now. Let me just make this one a little bigger. I'll put it like that. And then I'll leave it like that. I'll show you what I mean. Let me turn on this light and I'll show you. So you see, this was the 4-element. Move this chair over here. So this was a 4-element. Remember, this boom kept going up here, but it broke. You see where it broke at now? So I just need to clean that up. So I still have, so it's still 3-element. If I fold this open, it's 3-element. So you only have one of these. What do they call that? The reflector? No. What do they call that? So one director. Of course, this is the dipole. And then you have the reflector in the back. You have the reflector. You have this with the reflector. Okay, I'm not gonna open it here because it's too big to open it here. I'm gonna do this on the roof, but I do have to cut it. I don't have to cut it, actually. It's already close to it. It's already close to it anyway. I don't have to cut it, but I'll probably file it down. I'll file it up so you just so you don't, because right now I got sharp. It's kind of sharp. The break, you see. All right. So it's gonna be a 3-element. So I'll be able to salvage it. Because I was gonna take it apart and rebuild another one, but it's just pointless to do that. I want to have it up there ready. So it's kind of pointless to do that. So let me fix this camera actually. When I do, actually, let me switch it over to this one. I'll hide that one, and then this one I can make it bigger. Oh no, I can make it like this. So okay, I can't do this now, can I? Is it? Oh. No, I'm playing around with this nonsense. Wait a minute, it's Alt. Oh, this is. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. That's as wide as you can go. Okay, so okay. So I'm gonna go this wide. I mean, that's the widest I can go. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So let me close that browser thing. Let me go over here. Let me just close that. We're done with that. F11. There's F11. Okay, we're done with that. Let me go back over here. Okay. Yeah. So that one originally was 4-element Yagi, but since that part broke off because it was severely damaged, and I tried to bend it straight, but that's when it broke. So I knew it was gonna happen because it was too much of a bend. It was like really, it wasn't even like a slight bend. Like the one up there in the roof right now has a slight bend. So I bent it just a little bit to straighten it. But this one, it was bending to the point where it was already, you could see there was a little. It was bending to the point where you could see a fissure, a crack. So I knew that when I was trying to bend it straight, it was gonna break, and that's what happened. I tried to bend it straight, not even halfway, and it broke. So by the way, so that one's gonna be a 3-element Yagi instead of 4-element. So it's gonna be less directional. That's the other thing. When you lose, for every element you lose the directionality of it. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be, But it's kind of gonna be pointing to an area where I'll get more broader coverage. So you lose that, you lose gain, you lose some gain, and you lose the, the more it's less directional as opposed to, more elements. That's fine. And then the other two, of course, the first Yagi, I'll leave it the way it is. But then the folded dipole, that one I may switch these. I'm gonna switch these two around, and then I'll keep it like that. And then like I said, when I post the URL, it'll be on Discord only. And you know what? It should be like that anyway. More exclusive to me. Even on fmdx.org, even though I have my server listed in there, I didn't update the port number. I'm gonna leave it like that with a dead link. I don't care. Let people complain in there. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Boo hoo hoo. But it is working. They just don't know the new URL. If I update it there, it's gonna defeat the purpose of trying to keep it, you know. Now again, it's not public. I mean, it's not private. It's just the URL is hidden from most people. In fact, everybody doesn't. Nobody knows the URL except me right now with the new port number. Nobody should know it. That's what I mean to say. Now, when I posted it, like maybe tomorrow, then you guys are gonna know it. But that's it. It's not gonna be only gonna be a handful of people that's gonna be in there. Of course, I can monitor right here. I can see if it's from, for example, Tasso, Queens, you in Queens, Chicopee, Massachusetts. I mean Connecticut. He lives in Massachusetts. Anyway, I know he has a VPN. He's always switching. But I have an idea it's him. And then of course, who's the other person that connects to it? Not that many people connect to it from the Discord group. So yeah. So yeah, I did. I saw the video on you did with the tree also, the tree stump. Yeah, I know that sucks when a dead tree goes down. When we have one over here next to my house. It was a dead tree. The trees next to my house right now, the one that had the infant, that tree has been there for. That tree's pretty big, compared to the one that they chopped in front of your home. I think that was your home. That stump is way bigger. It's big, big, really big. I'm gonna say that tree has to be way over 100 years old. Probably 150 years or more. I don't know. It's an old tree. But that tree is not dead. The one that was if next to it, actually there was 3 trees. There's 2 trees now, but there was a third tree that one was dead, and that one I had to call the city of Yonkers a few times to complain because that one, the problem with a dead tree is that I know it kind of sucks that they cut it down and don't replace it right away. But the problem with a dead tree is that when the branches start falling down, especially I had one branch that was very big and heavy. That branch would have killed anybody. That's why I was, my son at that time used to play in the backyard. In fact, my mother-in-law, may she rest in peace, used to walk on that part of the yard. And for the, God was watching over us that night or that day. When that branch came down, none of them were out there. Had that branch would have fallen on anybody, it would have instantly killed them. This branch, believe me, I dragged that branch outside. Me and my brother dragged that branch outside. That branch was easily over 200 pounds. I'm going to say it was probably 300 pounds. It was a big branch. It was this thick. It was long. It was at least 10, I'm going to say 8 feet long. It was 8 feet long, about this thick. The thickest part was about this thick. And it was from the dead tree. That thing, and it fell from, by the way, that dead tree was tall. It was over 60 feet tall. I think it was very tall. So that thing must have fell from 40 feet. That big, humongous branch. When it landed there, I was outside that day. I was grilling on the other side of the yard with my brother. We was talking there. All I hear, boom! I heard a boom. My ground shook. We went over and we saw the branch right there. It landed on the other side of the yard. By the way, sometimes I'm on that side of the yard too. When I put my radio by the boulder, sometimes I sit there with a chair and I'm gonna. That branch would have landed on anybody. It would have been instant death. So when a tree is dead, you have to take it down. And by the way, there was other branches. There was one other branch for that same tree hit the utility line. It fell on the utility line, and we of course, emergency, they had to come and cut that limb off because it was resting on the power line. It did not break the power line, but it was resting on it. It was very close to obliterating the power line. We would have lost power because of that. And that branch would have landed on anybody that would have been in front of that house by my driveway. That too, instantly would have killed anybody. That branch was bigger, by the way, than the one that fell in my backyard. So I understand you're sad. You know, it's a tree. When you're dealing with a dead tree, it has to come down. They're dangerous. Any dead tree is a dangerous tree. That's it. Because now it's rotting. And when a tree is that big, it's not like they fall and, you know, no, when they fall, it's going to create a lot of damage. It's going to either damage property or worst case scenario, it's going to kill people. And you can't have that. You can't have that. Believe me, when that tree came down, after I've made several phone calls, I was happy. I told him, I clapped my hands, said, thank you. Finally get rid of this tree that's, you know, because while that tree was there, I told my son, do not go on that side of the yard. My son was forbidden to go to that side of the yard because I was worried about that tree. Okay? So I had to live with that for a couple of years when that tree was really falling apart. That tree, before the city came and cut it down, it was falling apart. Branches, one by one, were coming down. Big ones, big ones, big ones. All the way from the top. They were coming down. They were coming down. And you don't know what branch is going to come down on what particular, you don't know. So right now, half of my backyard, it was off limits to my son. And by that, at that time, well, she already had moved on, my mother-in-law. But my son I told him, do not go beyond this point right here. Because, you know, God forbid, you know, that thing comes down and you're not going to be able to react as it's coming down. I mean, believe me, I felt that tree rumble. I felt that branch hit when that branch hit my yard floor, the ground, our feet rumbled. It felt like a little earthquake. So that limb must have been at least 300 pounds, if not more. Because it was two of us. Me, I'm a pretty strong guy, and my brother Eric, he's a pretty strong guy too. It took two of us to drag it out, and we struggled to drag it out. Okay, so we dragged it out and put it on the other side. And we put it right there. Because, by the way, I don't have a chainsaw that can cut that one. I have an electric chainsaw, but it's a small one. I don't have a gas-powered chainsaw. Because that, you know, I could have cut that one and use stumps and make stumps with that. You know, my chainsaw could have cut that thick. So that's why we dragged it out and put it over there. You had to go to the other side, and I threw it over there. And my neighbor across the street looked at it and said, wow. I said, yeah, that fell in my backyard right now. And he said, yeah, that could have killed somebody. I said, yeah, that could have killed anybody. So don't feel bad when now if they don't plant trees, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would not want to plant another tree in that area. That's it. Once they plant that tree, the problem with that area, the problem with the little sidewalk like that is there's not a lot of ground there. For them to plant a new tree where you at, they have to get rid of that stump first. They have to get rid of that stump. So I know trees are beautiful and all that, but I personally don't want no trees around my house. I wish I could get. There's 3 trees right next to my house on the property of Yonkers. I don't have. Yeah, I understand H2. I get all that, but you know what? In a residential area, there's so many trees you can have, and then before it becomes a liability, it's a liability. You know. You have power lines, you have all this stuff. Right now, for example, our trees are not in front of the sidewalk. See, where you live at, you have trees in your sidewalk. We don't have that here. Our trees, the trees that are around here are in my backyard or next to my backyard. I have one tree right now that's not even straight no more. It's leaning. It's leaning too much. I wish they pruned that tree. I called the city many times. If that tree were to fall, it would damage our house. And that tree is over 70 feet tall. The one right next to my house. That's the one that had the end fed. That tree were to fall coming this way, it'll obliterate my house and anybody in it. I'm just telling you, trees are not always, trees are good. They're great in forests. They're great in parks to a certain extent. Now, when a tree is unhealthy or the tree is dead, you have to remove them. That's it. It's not a sentimental thing. It's not a kumbaya thing. It's called, real life. They can cause a problem. In that case, that tree can come down on my property and obliterate this house. And that tree, if it falls on my house, it will destroy this house. This house will have to be demolished. Okay? So, it's not a little tree that you put in front of the house, like the ones that you show in the video. Those trees are fine. The ones that are in front of the house, they're not that tall. Those are acceptable. Even if they go above your roof line, they're acceptable. But when the trunk gets too big and the branches start protruding on the power lines and things like that, that's when you have to, you gotta weigh the two. You gotta say, you gotta weigh the two. I know in your case you have that stump now. Now for the stump, I had to remove a stump. How I remove my stump, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that because you live in a city. You just can't do whatever you want on your sidewalk. You can't do that. You need permits and all that. Over here too, you need permits. But I had a stump in my backyard. It was a tree that we chopped down. It was a very annoying tree. It had thorns in it. The tree was here when I moved here. It was a tree that I gave the guy $50 because he had a big chainsaw. I said, listen, I want this tree out of my yard. And it was pretty tall. It was as tall as my house. It grew fast. But it was a thorny tree. I don't know what kind of species it was. All I know, in the winter, in the fall and the spring, it will bloom. But my yard was a pain in the ass to clean it. It was too many stuff all over my yard. I had to clean it every season. I had to clean this yard because of that one particular tree. So I told my neighbor, listen, I want this tree gone. He said, okay. So he came with his worker. They took it down. Best $50 I ever spent. Sorry, but I have trees in my yard, but they're manageable. You see what I'm saying? They're manageable. When a tree gets out of control, if it's close to my house, it's gone. There's it's a lot of money invested in this house. I'm not gonna let a tree destroy the investment that we put in this house. Not gonna happen. We're dealing with and we're also dealing with safety. Safety. It's a safety thing. Because that tree, when you said it was dead, you reminded me of that tree that was next to my house. The one that the city took down finally. I went out there and I said, thank you, finally. Take this dead tree out of here. Because that tree was falling apart and that tree would have damaged. Well, that tree, thank God it never damaged. Thank God it never damaged my garage roof. Because, by the way, if that stump would have landed on my garage roof, it would have went right through. It would have destroyed my garage roof. So by the grace of God, it landed on the dirt. It landed on the yard. It did not land on the garage roof. Had it landed on the garage roof, at that force, it would have destroyed the garage roof. It would have went right through. Right through the plywood, right through. It would have like a bomb. It would have went right through the garage roof. I would have had a hole in the garage. Anything underneath would have got destroyed. Yeah. So don't feel too bad. That's maybe that's a blessing to you that maybe save your home. Save your home or not save your home, save your life or anybody around there. Save their life. It's serious. That is no joke. You ever seen a tree fall on a car? You ever seen video of that? Unfortunately, I've seen that in there's a website I go to. I don't want to name the website. It's a gory website. There was one that showed a victim inside the car. He was splattered. And trees are no joke. When they fall on stuff, they crush things. They don't fall, they crush things. And this, when I saw this one, I said, "Oh my God, poor guy." He was out there, parked in a minivan. The tree landed right on. All you could see is his torso and his hands. Everything else is the trees right on top of the minivan. It's no joke. Serious. I'm not making light of it, but he's serious. That's the image that I had in my head. If that tree would have fallen in my front, whoever's parked out there, including my wife, by the way, my driveway is right there. My wife's car right there. That thing would have fallen. It'd obliterate anything in its path. And the stump is still there, by the way. The stump is still there. That tree got chopped 4 years ago. The stump is still there. Right now, it's all full of termites or whatever. The stump is finally disintegrating. And the stump, no, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna kid you now. The stump is like this wide. Look, I can't fit my hands in the screen. It's like this wide, the stump. It's like 4 feet wide, maybe 5 feet. I'm gonna say 4 feet. I'm just estimating 4 feet. 4 feet wide. It was a big tree. It was a big stump. It's still out there. So yeah. Yeah, well, I believe in H2O too, but I don't care for trees next to my house. I really don't. Not that big. The dead trees like that, no, I don't care for. Sorry. So yeah, I feel for you, but maybe that was a blessing. I'm gonna say it was a blessing because that tree, you don't know what the tree, you don't know what can happen. You don't know, you just don't know. Just like this tree right now. This tree next to it, it's still always a constant. Especially when we have high winds, that tree moves around quite a bit. When we have high winds. Back last summer, there was a tree up the hill that fell, and that tree was like a 50-foot tree, and that tree, when it fell on the hill, it's rolled down the hill, and it's still there. Of course, it's still there. Now it's just. And those when they fall, man, you hear it, boom. I got nature right behind my house. That's it. That's enough for me. But yeah, if tomorrow I could snap my fingers and get rid of these trees next to my house, I would, because that would ease my anxiety for that tree when they're falling on my house. What's his name? LGR. Lazy Gamer Review. LGR. He has a channel. It's a retro computing channel, retro game computing channel. He has a house in North Carolina. His house got damaged because of a tree. It obliterated his house. He had to. I mean, lucky for him, he has money. He has 1 million plus subscribers. So, and he also did a GoFundMe. So, YouTube money. He's I don't say he's a wealthy guy, but he renovated his house. He had to. But the damage that one tree did that. One tree damage. It obliterated his top floor. It broke through the roof. There were some items that got damaged because it was a storm. And I remember some of the old a lot of computers that he had, a lot of hardware that he had in shelf got damaged because he had it in that room and the attic. He had some stuff in the attic. All that stuff was damaged. He had water damage because there was a big hole, so it kept raining and flooding. A person like me would have just gave up. I would have said, "Fuck it." I would have sold the house for nothing and got the hell out of there. But he didn't. He had the money. He had GoFundMe, renovated his house. Of course, that tree was removed. I believe now he has no trees nearby his house anymore. But that one tree obliterated his house. I mean, it destroyed it. All the way down to the basement, he was getting water because of that big hole. Yeah, flooding in his basement. All the water went down to the basement because water only goes one way; it goes down. So from the attic, from the hole in the roof, from the gash that the tree created, all that water that or the rain on it kept going down. So his basement got flooded. So he lost stuff in the basement too. He lost a lot of stuff in the basement. Luckily for him, he has some of it in storage, but he lost a bunch of stuff in the basement. Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke, though. But he recovered. He recovered. I mean, they rebuilt the house. They rebuilt the house, but yeah, it was that's a stressful event. Anybody, any homeowner that house got damaged because of a hurricane or whatever, natural disaster or trees. In his case, it was both. It was a hurricane. I forgot what hurricane it was in North Carolina. That it was about 3 years ago. This happened. It was about 3 years ago, and then the tree fell and went through his house. Basically carved right through the middle of his house. But lucky for him, he was not. He was. I believe he was on the first floor when it happened. So he was not on that floor. He was not in the attic, or he was not on the second floor. I believe he was on the first floor when it happened. Or I don't. Yeah, or he wasn't home. Maybe he wasn't home. Now again, have he would have been on the upper floor. You see what I'm saying? It would have been really bad. But I don't think he was home when it happened. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I'm lucky for him. Well, that's the only. By the way, that was the only damage was the property. Not nobody got injured. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love trees. I love nature and all that. But when you're a homeowner, that's a whole different ball game. It's a different ball game. You gotta manage it and pruning. You have to prune. That's nothing. The problem is the city. The city. You know about the city. I tell you, I worked at 311. I used to handle those calls. I used to handle those calls. When I worked at 311, they just started the program. The Million Tree. It was started by Bloomberg actually. It was on the Bloomberg, I think, that started that program. It was the Million Tree. They wanted to have 1 million trees planted in New York City. So if you wanted a tree, you could call 311 and request. I remember the program. Once in a while, I would get a phone call, because I was the one operator. So they would call and they say, we would like to have it. Okay, and then I put in the service request. And depending on your area, where I lived at in the Bronx, we had a tree in front of the house. But that tree was never I remember when they first planted that tree. It was a small tree, not no more taller than me at the time. And then over the years, of course, it grows. Now I went back there 2 years ago. That tree now is way above. Is into the fourth floor now. The building across the street is up to like the fourth or fifth floor now. It's tall, but the tree is straight. It's not leaning or anything like that. So that's a good thing. So the tree is straight, and that's the thing you got to keep an eye on. Some trees don't grow straight. I have one tree now here that's kind of leaning already. I had to keep pruning it to get it straight, and I had to do some adjustment. I had to put a cable on it and anchor it into the fence post to try to keep it straight, and it worked for a couple of years. It was leaning, now it's going straight. So you have to do these things. Now that's me doing and maintaining it. Now if you're gonna depend on the city to do all that, that's not gonna happen because bureaucracy is ridiculous. So some trees are gonna lean, and when they lean, they're just gonna keep growing the same certain way. And when a tree is like that, they have to go. You know, you want your tree to grow straight, obviously, but there's some trees that start leaning like this, and then they start leaning like this, and then before you know it, even the branches, there's too much weight to sustain itself. That's when you start getting falling limbs a lot. Boom, boom, boom. That's crazy. And that's the one of the trees here. The limbs are so long. The limbs are so long. We're talking about several, couple of 100 feet or more. The limbs are so long, but they're leaning to a certain angle where you could tell it's not sustainable. You could tell it's gonna snap one day. At its own weight, it's gonna snap, and when it snaps, you don't want to be underneath that. You don't want to be underneath that branch. You know. So now you're talking about it could be it is a potential hazard. So you know. So yeah, the million tree program. I remember that, and the people would call about that. And then of course you have pruning service. People would call about they needed the trees pruned. So they do a service because you can't do it yourself. You're not allowed to touch those city trees. You're not allowed to do anything to those trees. You cannot go out there pruning yourself. It don't work that way. Because you will get fined. So you know. But the tree that we had in our front of our house it was pretty straight. And right now, when you go there now, it's still straight. It's still growing. And so that tree right now has been there for. When they planted that tree, I was a young. I was in my early teens. So that tree's been there for 40, almost going out to 50 years. Almost 50 years now. That tree is there. I remember when they planted it too. Because what they did is they rebuilt the whole sidewalk. Now, so the whole sidewalk was rebuilt in like 1980. It might have been 81. I think they rebuilt the sidewalk. 81 or 82. I remember it was 81 or 82. I forgot what year. It was early 80 or something. I know you're a lot younger than I am, but I remember I was a kid. I remember. I think I was in high school. And I was in high school when they put that tree up. So as soon as they rebuilt that sidewalk and the street, they planted a few trees, and my house was one of them. My house originally was one of the few houses that had a tree in front of it. That's it. And then over the years, they started planting more trees. Now, when you go to my old block, there's trees in I'm gonna say There's a lot more trees now. It's like every 60, 60 feet. There's a tree. You know, now there's a tree every 60 or 70 feet or something apart now. So there's a lot more trees now. I mean, it looks nice. It does look nicer with the trees and all that. But as long as they don't get really monstrosity, but that takes years. You know, that's gonna take years anyway. And the tree is like that big. That takes years. That takes decades. That takes probably outlive a lot of us. You know. But yeah, I remember 311. They would call for that service request for tree. So I don't know if it was the one that started. I think it was Bloomberg that started that program. Of course, now you have a mayor that, unfortunately, he's just a socialist. You have this mayor now. He doesn't. He's too busy. He's too busy patronizing or, you know, all he talks about is Islamophobia and all this stuff. And he goes visit criminals in the hospital bed. Does he care about the police? Of course, you know. I don't know what's going to take for New York City. I think it's going to get a lot worse before people finally. It's unfortunate because I love New York City. I grew up there. I I don't miss it now. When I first moved here, I didn't miss it because you know what I miss about New York City? The convenience of everything. Everything is there, 24/7. If I want to eat Chinese food at 2 in the morning, I could walk down a couple of blocks down there. You know what I mean? If I want to eat whatever, I can go here. You know, if I want to if I wanna, I don't know. In my case, I go to the bodega, 24/7 bodega. Yeah, it's through the window, but at least I can, like things like that. There's certain things I do miss. I miss New York City is a very nice walking city. I enjoy walking a lot in New York City. That's one of the things I did notice right away when I came here is accessibility. Over here, Yonkers is not New York City. It's a lot more quieter. There's a lot more hills here. Walking around Yonkers is kind of boring because everything closes at a lot of stuff. There's an ordinance here by midnight. Everything has to be closed. All these local bodegas or stores by midnight they have to be closed. There's no 24/7. The only thing that's 24/7 here in Yonkers is 7-Eleven. That's it. And the 7-Eleven here, it's all the way in McLean Avenue. That's all the way, it's not nearby. So that's the only place that opens 24/7. That's it. Everything else here in Yonkers is closed. So there's one bodega that stays open till midnight. All the other bodegas, they close by 9 o'clock. They're closed. There's another bodega over here. He closes at 10 o'clock. So the only bodega, and there's another one down there. They both close at midnight. And that's it. Shop right here closes at midnight. The one here in Yonkers, midnight. Now we have another one in Tuckahoe Road. That one closes at 2 in the morning. So that's the only one that one. But that's more Tuckahoe Road is more residential. It's a lot more quieter than the one right here. The one right here is midnight. And you mentioned ShopRite, yeah. So Andy says, if we want 24/7, we have to go to ShopRite, New Hyde Park, yeah. So yeah. So over here is the only thing that's 24/7 is 7-Eleven, and then this ShopRite closes at midnight also, I believe. And then the other ShopRite, Tuckahoe Road, that one closes at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. And that's it. There's nothing else open. In fact, Walmart doesn't even open 24/7 no more. The Walmart that we go to is all the way up there in Monroe County. It's all the way up there. Harrison, New York, all the way up. Harriman, I say Harrison. Harriman, New York, all the way up there, Monroe County. That one used to be 24 hours a day. But after the pandemic, now they close. Is it midnight also now? That one closes at midnight or 2 a.m. I forgot. But it's not 24/7 no more. In fact, any Walmart around here, I don't know any Walmart that's 24/7 anymore. And that Walmart used to be 24/7, but not anymore. So, yeah. Andy said Manhattan, Morton, Williams, 57th Street near Columbus Circle, 24/7. Okay. Yeah, but New York City is different. New York City, that's why I'm saying that in New York City, a lot of things are 24/7. Especially Manhattan. Manhattan, a lot of things 24/7. When I worked overnight shifts, in Manhattan, I used to work for example, one of my jobs I used to work as a Hess gas station. I used to pump gas. Well, not pump gas, but self-serve. But I had to clean the bathroom, thing like that, the register, thing like that, thing. So I was working at a gas station overnight shift, overnight shift. And when I had to go on my lunch break, it was a lot of places still open. Because I was near Times Square. I was not far from there. I was a few blocks away from Times Square. But yeah, yeah, exactly. As far as 24/7 Walmart, yeah, once COVID-19 happened, no more. And even after COVID-19, it's just still there's no more 24/7 Walmart around here in this whole tri-state area. But that's not when we go to the one in Monroe County. The one in Poughkeepsie, all the way up there, same thing. It's not 24/7. The one in Poughkeepsie also is not 24/7. I think that one closes to. I think it stays open till 2 in the morning or something like that. So yeah, that 24/7 is and that unfortunate is because of other stuff. Also, I know in I guess New York State because of crime. You know, people walk in and out. You know, at that time of the night, if somebody was to walk in and try to walk out with stuff, you have a skeleton crew of people. Who's gonna? First of all, nobody's gonna try to stop them anyway because of liability. You cannot just try to hold someone and then you get charged with something. Even if you were a security guard, you know, you could only. I need to cut this cuticle thing. But yeah, so now even just unfortunately, shoplifting now it's like glamorized on video now. You know, I've seen videos where people openly go in there. Oh, I'm gonna shoplift. I actually saw a couple of videos like that through X that somebody posted some stupid video of them walking out with stuff. So yeah, yeah. And he says now in LA there is a 24/7 Vons near Warner Brothers Burbank. That is a big deal when Warner Brothers merging with Paramount. Yeah, I know. I heard about that. They're gonna merge with Paramount and Warner Brothers. I do. We do have Warner Brothers stock. Not that many. A few shares. But yeah, they are. I know they're talking about merging. Cause like the Warner, I know the Warner Music. I think Warner Music separated from. Well, I think Warner Music also is a different stock. I think they separated. I think they separated the company first. Warner Music, and then Warner Brothers itself is was gonna merge with Paramount. But I think Warner Music is separate, if I remember, because that's the stock that we had. We had Warner Music, but then they no, yeah, so we had Warner Music, so we don't have Warner Brothers. So yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna when I post a URL, I'll post it on the Discord group only. But I'm not gonna share it in the map no more because it's just unfortunate. Too many bad apples. I mean, too many. It's just too. It's taking away the joy that I had when I wanted to set up my FMDX web server and share it. It just you know I shouldn't have to be dealing with that. That's at some point. A year later or whatever it was now. You would think that people were like, okay, can you people stop this, please? And no. So yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about the bird feeder. I'm definitely gonna set it up. Now I want to see if I can stream it. That would be nice if I can stream that. That's the hard part because a lot of these bird feeder cams they have their own proprietary software and they're not easy to um set up as a live cam. So because I go to those I go to those channels where they do live bird, like bird cam stream. But a lot of them, what they use is they just use a regular IP camera, like one of these maybe, something like this, where they just set it up near a feeder. So I'm gonna try this method for because this bird feeder total was about $43. It was about $43 in change that I spent total on the bird feeder. So I'm gonna try that out first and see if that works. You know, I mean, it's still gonna work. You know, I'm gonna be able to watch it on the app and all that. But if I can't make that one live stream, then I will get a dedicated, like a blink camera or something like that, where I can, you know, stream it, or even a wireless webcam. A wireless webcam where it'll be connected to this computer wirelessly. A wireless webcam that has, you know, IP address, and then that way I can do that. So, you know, I'm gonna try this method first, and if this doesn't work, then I will do a dedicated. I will buy another camera, and that one will be a wireless um, IP camera. And then that one, I will set up a bird feeder with that. I will set up a, you know, whether you set up a tray, basically a bird feeder, you don't need the housing. You can just set up the camera. The camera's protected, and then you put it near, and you put the tray. You can put a tray, and that's it. And then the birds land on it and they eat and whatever. The only obstacle I was gonna have now is the squirrels, because I do have quite a bit of squirrels, and they're very like I already have two just bird feeders there hanging off these they call them shepherd poles. They're the pole, and then they have a curve like that, and then they have a hook. So they call those shepherd poles. So, and I have bird feeder hanging off of that, and I have another shepherd pole that has another bird feeder on it. But unfortunately, those two, the squirrel finds his way up there and tilts the bird feeder, and he eats on it. He hogs up the food. Even though I put a separate, like a plate on the ground for the squirrels, but they eat all that, and then they wind up going to up there and finishing it off. So I have very greedy squirrels. Literally, they're greedy. It's like one or two particular. One is a very big, fluffy one, and he seems to be the one that does all the. You know, my wife and I, we say that he's a ninja squirrel. He does the. There's a black squirrel. He doesn't do all that. There's another smaller squirrel. He doesn't do all that. It's just this one big, fluffy squirrel. Squirrel, and he's the one that's very acrobatic. He's the one that outsmarts all of us, and he gets to the bird feeders. So of course I have to do a couple of things. I have to. I'm not gonna buy one, but I can make one. You can make it like a baffle. Basically, what you do is you take a plastic bowl, you drill a hole in the plastic bowl, you put it on top of it. That way, when the squirrel comes from the top, he slides right off. He cannot go through. So I need to do that. I need to make a baffle. And then for the pole itself, I see people use a slinky. They wrap a slinky around it, so when a squirrel tries to climb up the pole, when he grabs a slinky, he comes down. He cannot make. So I need to get a slinky. So I'm gonna have to get, but I'm gonna get a slinky for this one for the camera, because I don't want him. Because the only bad thing about the squirrel too is that they like to nibble a lot on stuff, plastic and all that. Like the camera, I don't want him to damage the. Because that particular camera has a wire that connects to the solar panel. It has a little solar panel, so it can stay charging. Problem with squirrels is that they like to eat through that stuff too. So I really got to protect the bird cam from all that stuff. So I think I'm going to go with the slinky method for that one. I'm going to probably get a slinky. I'm going to have to buy, maybe I'm going to have to buy one or two slinkies. One for that pole, one for another pole. For the slinky. Or maybe make some other, I've seen a few videos that do different things. They also have another baffle you can put at the bottom. Like, so that way when the squirrel's coming up the pole, there's an obstacle in the way, so he has to climb around it. But you make the baffle at an angle where he cannot climb. He won't be able to climb around the baffle. He'll want to falling off. So, you know, I have to do all these things because the squirrels, they're very, you know, I left him out there like that for the last couple of weeks or so, a few weeks already. And he winds up eating the rest of the food. And right now, I had a 40-pound bag when I started. Right now it's down. I already used up 10 pounds of it. And only, this is like the second time this season since late March. This is the second time already I fed the feeders. They usually, when I fill these two feeders, I'm hoping it will last at least a couple of weeks or so. They're gone in less than a week now. And a lot because of the squirrel. So yeah, so definitely have to because that's coming. That's just too much, you know. Uh, I'm hoping that I'm trying to make that bag last for at least a couple of months. So 40-pound bag. So at the rate it's going now, that bag is gonna be gone in about a month. I'm trying to make that bag last at least through the summer. Because, you know, it's not the birds, it's the squirrels that's eating all the food. Now there's other stuff you can do. I saw a video that you can buy the food that's, it doesn't bother the birds. It has like because squirrels don't like, one thing they don't like is pepper. They don't like anything with pepper. So maybe the next bird feed I buy is, they said it has like pepper, is like it has like the oil of the pepper with it. It's harmless to the birds. The birds can eat it, but the squirrels, the minute it tastes of pepper, they don't want to eat it no more. They're like, okay, we don't like pepper, and they'll go somewhere else. So I don't, you know, right now the bird feed that I buy is pretty. I mean, you know, it's still, it's kind of inexpensive. But if I were to buy the pepper lace one, that's gonna be more money, and I don't really want to break the bank just to feed. You know, I really don't want to do that. I mean, it's nice to have them in the backyard. They fly around. They kind of, you know, I like to hear them in the morning. But even if I didn't have the bird feeder, they would still be around. But like I said, some things always ruin something for others. So there you go. The squirrels see. So that's why I want to do this birdcast. See what happens. See if I get it to stream. That would be nice. Because I want to stop. Hey, I want to post other stuff. I have other channels too. I could post it in other channels, but I really want to post it here. Have a stream just for the at least even if it's for a couple of hours. You know, pretty cool. I don't want to have a dedicated channel because I don't want to do 24/7 on it, but at least a couple of hours here and there, you know, whatever, and things like that. Yeah. Oh my god. Excuse me, sorry. 2 hours and 32 minutes. Wow. Already. Damn, nice. Yeah, it looks like anyway, they're I don't hear them out there, so they probably all went to sleep already. So I will be getting back to live streaming hopefully by, I know last time I said by last weekend I was gonna, but you know, things come up. I'm hoping after this weekend I'll start regularly live streaming regularly. I'm still cleaning the backyard. I'm still prepping it ready for, because I haven't laid down the seeds yet. This weather's been crazy. Right now it's 48 degrees, so you know at this time of the year we're supposed to be a little above. We're slightly below what the normal. So right now, for example, right now it's the 25th now. Last week of April. So usually for us, normally by the first week of May is when I plant everything on the ground or you know in the raised bed. So basically by sometime by the end of, well, right now it's Saturday now, so I'm thinking by next week, then I'll start planting stuff on the ground because then we're in May and you know it's not gonna be like 30 you know, lower 40, upper 30, or even freezing temperature weather. You know, right now April's still, you know. A couple of times I turned off my furnace and I thought it was gonna be done for the until next year, until next fall, and I had to turn the furnace back on. because they were cold. This house got cold. So yeah. So right now I have the furnace on because But yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'll post it tomorrow. I'll post it sometime tomorrow. The URL. I just want to see if I'm still getting botted. Right now, so far so good. I'm looking at my server right now. It's only me that connected to it. So I don't think this person's gonna bot tonight. But I want to make sure that this person's not botting. And then I will put it on the Discord group. In fact, let me check the Discord. What's going on? Let me just check real quick. Actually, let me just minimize this. Let me open this. Okay, then I'll go back over here. No, OBS, sorry, OBS. Alright. Let me see if there's anything here. No, nobody. Oh, Jennifer, who posted something here? Ghost Pepper 1, say hello. Who is Ghost Pepper 1? Let's see, I'm sorry. Okay. Florida mesh. Oh, so this is a mesh. A mesh. Alright, there we go. Somebody with a mesh network tag. Yeah, also that was another thing I was thinking about purchasing, the mesh core. I wanted to get a mesh core repeater and a small, well, they're all small anyway, but a mesh core thing. But I put that on hold because right now I'm behind on a few things, so I'm gonna wait. Because I do need coax. I'm gonna need new coax for the. There's 2 more antennas I'm gonna put up there. Actually 3. So I will put that sometime. I think by next week I'm gonna have the antennas up there. The 3 element that you saw. I just need to file down that sharp where the break was at sharp. Unless I can find a hacksaw and cut it and clean it up. And then the other antenna is gonna be behind me. That's the Clearstream 4V. I'm gonna put that one back up. That's a television. And then the fiberglass whip that's right there. You can see it right there. And that one has to go up there. So I have 3 antennas I need to put up there. So I have the coax for this one. This one I'm going to use LMR 400. And then the TV antenna, I need a new coax for that one. I have coax here, but it's old. I don't want to use that. I want to use brand new coax. So that one, I'm going to need a coax. I'm going to need a coax 75 feet RG6 quad shield. I'm also going to need a little jumper cable. Because I have the VHF element thingy. That snaps onto the Clearstream. So I need a jumper that goes from that to the Clearstream. So I need that piece. So I'm gonna get a brand new piece for that. I'll just order it from. So that's 175 feet and then the jumper. And then the other antenna is gonna be the 3 element Yagi. It's just a 4 element, but the piece that broke off. Good evening, Keegan the Extra from Northwest Arkansas. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've been on for 2 hours already. I'm just I had the Ring door cam. I was watching somebody, and then now. So I'm gonna need a no coax for that one. So I'm gonna have to buy 2 75 feet coax. I see them on Amazon right now. Knock on wood. I just said it. Hopefully the price doesn't skyrocket. So we're talking about $20 each. So that's $40 right there. And then I need the jumper wire. So that's going to be another, I don't know, maybe a few bucks. So that's why I ordered the Deepelect DP666, but I got to hold off on the other purchasing because I need to get these wires. Coax is not free. I need to buy new coax. And let me show you the other piece, since Keegan is here now. So this is my thought about the other piece. Let me bring it over here. So this is one of the elements I broke. Let me move this chair out the way for a minute. Give me a minute, because I want to demonstrate this. Let me put this here without. I don't want this to fall on the floor and get. Let me move this chair out the way, and then I'll point the webcam. So this is. Remember I told you about the antenna when it broke? Anyway, the light's not bothering. And let me do it this way. Anyway, so the antenna, remember, where it broke. So this is the the piece I broke off. See, it's broken. So let me tighten this up. Let me just hand tighten this up so I can show you. Okay, so I was listening to classical music from 91.3 KUAF HD2 Fayetteville, Arkansas, fed on my Sandian HDR14 to my Sequent FM transmitted to a 91.9, excuse me. So this is the part that broke off. So remember, this is the part of the, you remember the boom where it broke off? So while I was thinking about using this part, right, as another antenna. So let me tighten this up. So this is the, yeah. So you see, this is the element for the, one of the elements I broke off. You see it's bent. See it's bent right there. I try to straighten it up, it's bent. And then, so I was thinking about using this as like a dipole, but have it like this. Of course, I don't have it tightened all the way. Yeah. Right? You know, mount this on a pole like this. You know, instead of let's see, horizontal, I'm gonna do vertical. And then what I can do is I can hook up TV, the TV, what they call the transformer, the balun. You know, the TV balun, 75 ohm balun, whatever. There is a gap there. See the gap? There is a gap. So, it'll be a dipole. Let me tighten it up a little bit more. I don't want to over tighten it because I don't want to wear out the plastic. Anyway, you see, right? So I could put a television balun. I don't have one here. It's in a container. Anyway, it's in a container. You know, the balun with the 75. Tie wrap it. I could tie wrap it. And I'm going to have it mounted like this. I'm going to drill a couple of holes. I'm going to put this on I don't know where. Probably not on the roof. I'll probably put it on this pole right here. You know, the one with the clothesline? I'll put as high as I can. And I'll point it somewhere. And I'll test this out to see if this can, I don't know. I mean, it's cut for FM. I mean, that is for FM. That is cut for FM, I believe, is already. Because this is one of the elements I broke from the antenna. It was a 4-element, now it's a 3-element. But this part I want to salvage. Turn it into, point it like, use it like, vertical. I'm going to drill a couple of holes here so I can put a mount. And it'll be on the pole. And I don't know, I'm going to point to see what I can pick up. Alright? Of course, I seen antennas. It'll pick up, it'll work on FM, of course, because this is tuned for FM. But I want it'll be directional. All right, it'll be directional. So maybe I'll point it like, I don't know, east. Maybe I'll point it east. I'll point it east. And it'll be like my fourth antenna. Right? But yeah, so I'm gonna do is hook up the balun to a TV balun. I'm gonna tie wrap it. Of course, it's gonna be tie wrap. It's gonna be secure with tie wrap. And then, of course, I'm gonna drill a couple of holes here for. I do have a U bolt. Then I could put this on a pole and use it. This will be like my fourth antenna. So yeah. So there you go. Okay. So I'll salvage. So so that antenna, I make two antennas. I'll use this one, and then that one will be a 3-element Yagi. It's not gonna be as direction as a 4-element, but it can still pick up FM. And then that one, I'm gonna point it probably north or west. I don't know yet. So let me show you. I'll show you the other because Keegan wasn't here. So let me close this one up. I don't want to. Loosen this up here. Yeah, I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna use this too. I was gonna rebuild a whole new antenna, but I said I don't want to do that. I want to use it now. I don't want to wait anymore. I'm trying to fold it back, so. Anyway, you get the gist of it. Anyway, let me put it right here. So it doesn't get, I don't want it to get damaged or anything. Let me just put it right here. I'm going to put it away. I want to keep it, I don't want it to get any more damage than what it is already. Alright. And then, of course, the other one, of course, this one now is shorter. You see? So now this one is shorter now because the piece broke off from here. So now this is going to be a 3-element. It's a 3-element. Instead of 4-element, now it's a 3-element. So this one, I just got to clean it up right there. See where it broke? I just got to, file it down so it doesn't, remove all those burrs or whatever. I'm going to just file it down. I was going to cut it with a hacksaw, make it shorter, but I'll leave it like that. I'll just file it down and clean it up. And I can still use this as a 3-element. I can still use this as a 3-element. So this will be a 3-element. Like I said, it's not going to be directional. It's not going to be as directional as a 4-element and less gain, but it'll still work fine. So I have two antennas from this one. I have this one and I have that antenna. And of course I got the 4-element already up there. So, all right? Rather than take this apart and rebuild another one, it doesn't make any sense. So I can experiment with this one and see how well this one with one element, with one missing element, compared to the other one. I can do comparison right now. And then of course we have the TV one. And then this is the television one. This is the one that this is the television one. The clear stream. And then this one has a VHF element that I gotta snap on here. Or here, I can put on either one of them. But I have to go on one of these. I'll show you the VHF element. Anyway, this is the one that's gonna go. This is the TV antenna that's gonna go up on the roof. Again, I gotta wipe it down. I gotta clean it. It's dusty. And then the VHF element for this one is right here. Where is it? Let me find it. Where did I put it at? Where's the VHF element? Oh, it's right here. And this is the VHF element for that one. So this snaps on. This snaps on that antenna. Or the Clearstream 2. If you have a Clearstream 2, this is the VHF element. See, it has a pass-through. So it's going to go, see? You see it right there. If you can see it. See, UHF in, excuse me, UHF in, UHF, VHF out. You see it right there? Sorry. Antennas Direct makes this. So this is a VHF add-on. So when you add this is for VHF. You add, so I'm going to add that one to that one. And then I'm going to have VHF also. And then this antenna with that one combined is going to be pointing north. I'm going to have that one pointing north to see what I can pick up there for television. I already have this one pointing to New York City. But this one is going to be pointing north. Just to see, you know, what else I can pick up. All right? So these antennas are going up there. Hopefully by next week they should be up there. So I'm going to have to order the coax. So I'm probably going to order the coax. I'll order it tomorrow. I'm going to order it tomorrow. So I need two 75 feet. And then this one, I need a pigtail. I need a pigtail. It's going to go like a 1 foot. 1 foot piece. I need a pigtail. So I need one that goes. Let me see. I want to make sure I got that right. Wait a minute. Yeah. That's right. UHF. Let me see. Yeah, UHF in. Okay. Yeah. So the Clearstream 4, that's gonna connect to here, and then this one is gonna go to the basement. So it's gonna go this. So this is a combiner. There's a combiner here. There's a combiner in here, by the way. Okay, inside here there's a combiner. So that antenna, the one I just showed you, the UHF, is gonna go in this one. So I need a. Let me see. Let me measure it. I don't want to snap it in because it's a pain to snap it out. So it's going to be like this. Oh, I have it upside down. So it's going to be like this. So I'm going to snap it into one of these. Either this side or this side. It's going to snap in. So I need about a foot. It might be too short. I might need a 2 feet. 1.5 foot pigtail. So I need 1.5 feet coax. So we go from here to here. Right here. So this is going to go to here. To UHF in. It's going to go to UHF in. So this output is going to go to UHF in. And then the VHF. The UHF VHF out. That's going to go down to the basement. Okay, that's how this works. So you're going to snap it on here. And then, so I'm going to need about a foot. But I want to give it some slack because I don't want it to be too tight. So probably about 1.5 feet or 2 feet cable, whatever they have. I'll just buy the pigtail. I'll get a brand new one because I'm going to water seal that. So that's my television antenna. So that's going to be my television antenna pointing north. And then I'll get the switch. I'll get this switch. I'll get another D switch for the television. Okay, and I'll have two TV antennas I can switch. So the RCA is pointing to New York City, and then that one is going to be pointing north. And then I'll do like I'll do a band scan. First, I'll do a band scan. Because with the Roku, you can do one band scan for one antenna, and then you save it. And then when you want to do another band scan to add more channels, you don't say start over. You just you know, keep the ones you already have, plus add more. And that's what I'll do. So, I'll be right back. I have to go the little boy's room. I'll be right back. In the meanwhile, let me put the radio on.
We might very well be totally unique in this
I'll be
universe.
right back.
That's an opinion shared by many scientists.
I don't know why I said my business, but I'll be right back.
There's nothing we're going to do to control the sun. I believe we're the beings who are going to populate this galaxy if we smart enough get together and learn to, you know, stop warring against each other. And we.
Well, Silas, you say it so well. Let's hope we can do it in a peaceful way. But we appreciate the commentary. Now, Tom, an opportunity to respond to Silas.
Yeah, I think, you know, the space program brings countries together. And, you know, a good example is right now on the International Space Station, NASA has an agreement. They have an agreement with Russia where both the United States and Russia both have to have astronauts on board the space station continuously all the time. You know, so they're working together. And when you're in space, you don't care whether the person's Russian. If they're good at what they do, you know, they're your buddy. And, you know, I've always had quite an admiration of Russian cosmonauts because they have survived everything. Okay, the first man in space, I don't know if you realize this, but he didn't actually land in his spacecraft. He had to get out of it.
That's exactly right.
He had
and Yuri Gagarin,
imagine that.
No, Tom, you're talking about Yuri Gagarin, and just to let the audience know, I mean, you know this too, but maybe they don't in Focal Point. He was obviously launched on this very dangerous mission, according to many Soviet scientists at the time. But he obviously launched into space, which is unbelievable. He almost perished because he had a problem getting out of that particular spacecraft that he had. It was like his parachute or something. He had lots of difficulty, so it wasn't easy for Yuri Gagarin. But the sad part about it is, Yuri Gagarin, the hero of the Soviet Union, right? He dies in a strange plane crash outside of, I think it was Sheremetyevo, the airport there near Moscow. Apparently his MiG-15 or something hit another plane, or somehow it crashed. What a heck of a way to go out. You know, that's amazing. But it wasn't easy to get to space.
Yeah, my grandfather had a subscription to Soviet Union Today, and I still have the issue where Gagarin's on the front, you know. He was an amazing guy. These Russian cosmonauts were incredibly brave. Imagine getting on top of an ice.
All right. Oh, Dr. Sky Show is on. That's on. Yeah, already halfway through Dr. Sky Show. Yeah. So anyway, that's my plan. So I'm going to put the TV antenna up. But I want to get new coax. I mean, I have coax there, but it's already pretty old. I don't know if I want to put that up there because I might be up there for a couple of years. So plus this old coax is not quad shield. Like the ones, all my antennas right now, the new ones that have been up there, they all have quad shield RG6. All quad shield. So I got the highest quality cable for them. So I want to keep it like that. Because we're running 75 feet, so you want the highest quality. You don't want junk. I mean, I have some pieces there. I have a 75 feet there, but it's old. I don't want to. I'll save that for when I throw something in the garage, like whatever. But for here, for this one, I want to have. And they're inexpensive. They're not that expensive. You can get 75 feet. If you go on Amazon, you can get it for like $17. I see. $17, $18. Usually I go with a brand. It's called Fat Satellite. With a PH, like. So that's the brand that I buy. They never failed on me. Work well. That's the one I've been using here. It works well. So I'm going with that one. As long as it's quad shielded. Yeah, you don't want to skimp on that. You want to, if you're doing long cable runs like 75 feet or more. You need the highest quality cable you can buy, that you can afford, because you will lose, and by the way, because I'm not using no amplifiers, like I have this Channel Master amplifier that before in the past I used, but I don't want to use this no more. I really want to, no amplifiers. See, and this works well. The RCA most of the time it works very well. I'm noticing on Fox 5 lately, I'm getting a little pixelization and things like that. Some of it's because of the foliage, because now all the trees are blooming. So I will lose some signal over the summer because of all the foliage now. That's just the nature of the area. So I will lose a couple of, whatever you want to, But there is going to be some signal loss because of the foliage. And then once the fall arrives and the leaves fall, then I'll get, I went to bed, but still I'm watching on my. No, I'm gonna sign off now. It's 1 o'clock already. I've been on for 3 hours on the dot, so I'm gonna end it right now. Anyway, 3 hours is a good stream. I didn't plan to be on. It was just a surprise stream. So I'm gonna sign off now anyway. But I'll be back soon. I just want to finish up my yard stuff. On the bird feeder cam, I'm gonna make a video on that, on the unboxing. I have it right here, but I want to make an unboxing video on the bird feeder webcam. And then tomorrow I should get the pole for the bird feeder. Yeah, so 73, take care. Good night, Keegan. And I'll see you guys soon, and you guys have a great weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. So thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Andy for being in the live stream also. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.